Kap Tukon Chu, Mark Anthony P. Gaspi. I am a graduate Bachelor of Industrial Technology, major in Food Technology 2015, Diploma in Teaching 2017 at Iloilo Science and Technology University, Miaco Campus. I am a net passer of September 2017 with SLRTC and Gurung Pinoy as my review center. Currently, I am foreign language teacher at sa Song School, Nakonsi, Tamarat, Thailand. I have been teaching here since 2018. Now, my positive experience with SLRTC Gurung Pinoy is during that time, I need to be out of my classes because I have a sick mom and a sick dad, which were admitted at Double Doctors Hospital, so I need to travel back and forth. Now, Mame and Sir Ram, they will be sending me review materials, video clips, or any related articles which will help me in my review. They will also teach me and pray for me that I will be going to ace my examination. Now, they're really committed to their advocacy, which is to help all aspiring educators to fulfill their dreams of becoming a licensed professional teacher. Their compassion to prepare you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically is beyond words. SLRTC Gurung Pinoy is the right choice. For you to ace your lab examination, subscribe Gurung Pinoy. Cup and cup.
Sawadika Tukun. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Junilyn Lou F. Palma from the Philippines, but currently I am living and working here or teaching here in Thailand since 2018. My course is Bachelor of Science in Industrial Education 2017 in Iloilo Science and Technology.
Alright, good evening po sa inyong lahat na nandyan ngayon sa Pilipinas. We are live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. I'm so sorry, there are some technical difficulties with our videos, the videos that we have just played, and so I have just deleted the slides with those videos. But anyway, today or tonight is our first night having this live stream GenEd and professional education discussion. Still, this is going to be for your lab preparation for you to pass your licensure examination for teachers. And tonight is the first live stream that we have for the month of August. Okay, so again, this is GenEd and ProfEd discussion, 20 items GenEd and 20 items ProfEd. Hindi lamang po 15 items, but tonight we start with 20 items of GenEd and 20 items of ProfEd, okay? Now, of course, the exclusive materials go straight to Grow. If you are not still a member of Grow, again, it's very easy to become a member of Grow. All you need to do is to join us, of course. Grow is Guru Pinoy Review Online Work Group. And this is our exclusive FB group for you to pass the let. This is where we send all the exclusive materials that we have that can help you pass the let. Not only those materials that we are sending here or we are discussing here through our live stream, but also some other materials that we know can help you pass the let. So we are studying Guru Pinoy, and we have been in this business for more than 10 years. We have been helping students pass the let, the civil service, the MTOP, and some other entrance examinations and other competitions. Okay, so we know how the let works, and we know that we can help you easily pass the let with just one take. Okay, so if you are here for the first time, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and that you are also following and you like our Facebook page. That's also Gurong Pinoy. Please do like this video and also share this video to your friends. Put it in your wall, on your Facebook wall, put it in your some of the other groups that you've joined. Okay, so again, we are doing this for you to pass the let, and we'd like to reach out to more students so that we can help more people pass the let. All right, so again, good evening po sa inyong lahat na nandyan ngayon. I can see some comments on YouTube. I can also see some other comments on Facebook. Okay, so I hope wala nang aberya, no? Medyo may technical difficulties tayo ngayon. Medyo nag-hang yung laptop, but I'll try to check what's wrong with it in a few minutes. I just hope na hindi na siya mag-hang. Okay, now, again, Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group or GROW. The initial offer was just 250 pesos, but we have mentioned that it was only until July 31st. Today is already August 1, and we know that today we start with the 500 peso one-time payment, okay? So you can pay through Palawan, Cebuana, ML. The name is there, address is there, phone number is also there. And as we have mentioned, I am not the one who's receiving your payment. This is through my sister-in-law who's in the Philippines. Me and my family are in the US, so we cannot really receive any notifications from you. That's why we're asking you to send us your receipt through Gurong Pinoy official FB page. PM nyo po, i-PM nyo po, okay? I-inbox nyo po, mag-send po kayo ng message at isend doon ang inyong resibo. Huwag nyo pong ilagay sa comment, okay? Hindi po sa comment, isend nyo po siya through a private message. All right, so that's 500 pesos only. The details are all there. Okay, so yan po lahat ng details kung paano nyo po mapapadala yung 500 pesos for your one-time payment for your review for the let. So again, this is one-time payment. This is until the time that you take the let. There's no need for you to pay every month, okay? So there's also no need for you to pay 5,000 pesos as what the other review centers are charging you. Okay, that's just 500. That's for GROW, GenEd and ProfEd discussion, GenEd and ProfEd exclusive materials. Now, another option for you, for those people who are saying that they cannot get out of the house, another option for you is to send a super sticker during our live streams on YouTube. Okay, so you super chat, super sticker. It's very easy po. Pag nakikita nyo yung parang dollar sign dyan sa inyong chat, okay, chat box po, na dollar sign sa live stream natin sa YouTube, then you can click that, you can choose an amount, and you can send this to send us the said amount. Now, after po niyan, pwede po kayong
mag-screenshot lamang ng inyong payment, and then you also send it through a private message in Gurong Pinoy's official Facebook page. Okay, so again, starting today, the payment na po is 500 pesos. All right, so that's for Grow. Again, this is our official Facebook page. That's Gurong Pinoy. You can see it on the screen. And if you are a member of this other group here, Gurong Pinoy Let Online Group, that is not Grow po. We don't really send a lot of exclusive materials there. Okay, so what you can do is to join Grow nga by paying 500 pesos. You've seen the details a while ago. And of course, you send us your receipt through a private message to our FB page. And I am going to be adding you to Grow, okay, which is our exclusive FB group. All right, so again, that's 500 pesos. Please do like this video, share this video, share it on your Facebook page, your Facebook accounts, and also some of the other Facebook groups that you have joined. All right. Okay, so the live stream for this month, the schedule is on your screen. That's Saturday and Sunday, still at 7 p.m. That's for the entire month of August. All right. So good evening po sa lahat-lahat. I haven't read a lot of your comments, but I am telling you, I'd like to greet all of you. Good evening, good afternoon for some of our students who are in other parts of the world. Good morning, coming here from South Carolina, USA. All right, so again, please like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and please share this video in your Facebook page. Share this to your friends, share this to some other people who you know are going to take the LET. Okay, so we started our discussion tonight. Again, this is 20 items GenEd, 20 items ProfEd. Please be ready with your notebooks, and we are going to start now. Okay. Sir Efren, hello Mamek, hello fellow teachers, good evening. Sir Zandro Villar, buti na lang nakaabot, good evening po. Nakahabol pa sa last day ng promo. Okay, sino yung nakahabol sa last day? Oh, Ma'am Danica Zafra from PLM. All right, so we start with question number 1 for GenEd. Ano ang tawag sa mga nakahilig na salita sa pangungusap? Naging mabilis ang pulong ng Pangulo at ng mga kalihim. Is it letter A, salita, letter B, kataga, letter C, parirala, or letter D, sugnay? Sir Omar Italia, good evening po. Welcome to our live stream. If this is your first time to watch our live stream, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Also, please like our video and share our video on your Facebook account and share it with your friends. Sir Rex Alidopian, thank you for watching us on Facebook. He's one of our alumni. Hi, Ma'am Chris Risonable. Good evening, watching from Cebu. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 1? This is in the category of Filipino. Okay, many people on YouTube are answering with the letter B. May nanghuhula, Sir Nap. Okay, may B, may C. Ma'am Grace Flores says hello sa mga first-timer. Welcome to Grow, Sir Omar, sabi ni Ma'am Christine Acabo. Okay, so many people on YouTube are answering with C or B. Some other people are answering with the letter D. So again, going back to our question here, anong tawag sa mga nakahilig na salita sa pangungusap? Naging mabilis ang pulong ng Pangulo at ng mga kalihim. Is this salita, kataga, parirala, or sugnay? Okay, so Ma'am Checky is also answering on Facebook. Ma'am Vil Bolok-Bolok, good evening po. Okay, now let's take a look at the choices that we have here. When you say salita, this means a word. Okay, salita there means a word. Kataga means a term, which essentially would mean the same thing, no? So halos magkaparehas lang tong salita at kataga mo. A word or a term. Parirala mo naman means a phrase. So you know that when you say phrase, it does not have both the subject and the predicate. So po pwedeng meron lamang siyang subject pero wala siyang predicate. In Filipino, meron lamang siyang simuno pero wala siyang panaguri. Or po pwedeng meron lamang siyang panaguri pero wala siyang simuno. So pag sinabi mong simuno or paksa, ito ang bagay, tao, pangyayari na pinag-uusapan natin sa ating pangungusap. Pero pag sinabi mo ng panaguri, ito yung nagde-describe sa ating simuno o sa ating paksa. So if you say phrase or parirala, it does not have both your subject and your predicate. But when you say clause, that's sugnay, this is choice D, it has both your subject and your predicate. It has both your simuno and your panaguri. Okay? Now, ang mga nakahilig na salita dito ay ng Pangulo at ng mga kalihim. Ito ba ay paksa or simuno? Or ito ba ay simuno at panaguri? Okay? So, can we say, of course, hindi na po pwedeng salita, hindi po pwedeng kataga. Ito ba ay parirala? Hindi ba siya kompleto? Paksa lang ba siya? Or panaguri lamang ba siya? Or ito ba ay sugnay, may paksa at may panaguri? I think it's pretty obvious. The correct answer should have been letter C. Okay, letter C po, that's parirala or phrase. Okay, so parirala po or phrase. It does not have both your subject and your predicate. Ligwak ka agad, sabi ni Ma'am Christine. Sir Mark Prince del Campo, maraming salamat po sa inyong maagang ayuda. Okay? So, buena mano, Sir Mark. Thank you so much po for your super chat, super sticker on YouTube. Okay, so again, the correct answer for number 1 is letter C. That's for Filipino. Now we go to question number 2. Ibigay ang aspeto ng pandiwa sa pangungusap. Kasusulat lang niya ng kwento. Is this pawatas? Letter B, perpektibo. Letter C, contemplatibo. Or letter D, imperpektibo. Okay, this is still Filipino. Nakuha sa hula ni Sir Nap. Sir Loreto, ano daw yung lugwak? Alright, now people on Facebook, please answer with us. I'd strongly suggest that you should have your review notebook. Okay, so para hindi po kalat-kalat yung mga notes nyo, dapat ay meron kayong review notebook where you can write all your answers while you're answering with us. You can also write the notes that you're taking there while we are having our discussion. Okay, now a lot of people on YouTube are answering with B, C, meron ding D, meron ding A. So, ibig sabihin ay marami na naman nanguhula. Okay, Ma'am Checky, good evening po from Facebook. Ma'am Najma Usop, Facebook. Ma'am Chris Reasonable, Ma'am Jasmine Ponciano, Ma'am Roslyn De Torres Hebulan, Sir Edgar Peralta, Ma'am Jeline Radan, Ma'am Early Pratt, Ma'am Ville Bolok-Bolok. Good evening po, those people who are watching on Facebook. Again, please like this video and share it on your Facebook accounts. Share it to the rest of the groups that you have. Thank you so much, Ma'am Junive, for sharing our video. Maraming salamat po. Okay, so may B, may A, may C. Let's go to your question. Ibigay ang aspeto ng pandiwa sa pangungusap, kasusulat lang niya ng kwento. Now, when we say aspeto po, ito yung tinatawag nating tense. Okay, so this is the tense of your verb. Okay, so alam kong nakaka-tense talaga to, no? Change to D, si Ma'am Sandy Roque. Okay, so ano nga ba yung aspeto ng pandiwa dito? What is the tense of the verb in this sentence that we have? Is it pawatas? Is it perpektibo, contemplatibo, or imperpektibo? So para malaman natin kung anong sagot, of course, let's try to go over the different choices that you have here. Okay, so ito po yung mga aspeto ng pandiwa na meron tayo sa Filipino. Ang una po ay perpektibo. Another term for this would be pangnagdaan or naganap. Meron din po kayong imperpektibo. So, tinatawag din ito pangkasalukuyan or nagaganap. At meron ding contemplatibo. Tinatawag ding panghinaharap or magaganap. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi mong perpektibo, tapos na. Imperpektibo naman, hindi pa tapos, nangyayari pa sa kasalukuyan. At pag sinabi mong kontemplatibo, mangyayari pa lamang sa hinaharap. Okay? So, panghinaharap ito. All right, so again, you have the rest of your examples there. So for example, when you say perpektibo, binasa, meaning tapos na. Binabasa, that's imperfectibo, nagaganap pa. Babasahin, that would be contemplatibo, okay, sa hinaharap. Now, kumilos, tapos na, so that's perpektibo. Kumikilos, imperfectibo, hindi pa tapos, nagaganap pa. Kikilos, ito po ay contemplatibo. This means it is going to happen in the future. Now, what about pawatas? Ang pawatas naman po ay yung mga pandiwa na may panlapi. Okay, so may panlapi, that means merong prefix or suffix. So, for example, yung salitang ugat mo ay lakad, pag ginawa mo siyang lumakad, okay, this is the pawatas form. Meron siyang panlapi. Laro, ang iyong salitang ugat, nilagyan mo siya ng mag, okay, this becomes pawatas. And of course, kung if we are going to use the same verb for the different tenses that we have a while ago, perpektibo, imperfectibo, at contemplatibo, alam natin na yung pawatas, for example, ay maglaro, perpektibo dito ay naglaro, imperfectibo ay naglalaro, at contemplatibo ay maglalaro. Okay? So yung pawatas po ay hindi katulad ng tatlong mga naunang aspeto ng pandiwa natin. Alright, now going back to the question that we have, ibigay ang aspeto ng pandiwa sa pangungusap, kasusulat lang niya ng kwento. Kasusulat. So is this pawatas, perpektibo, contemplatibo, imperfectibo? The correct answer is letter B, perpektibo. Okay, so letter B po, perpektibo, ang tamang sagot. Okay, kakatapos lamang sa letter B, tama po kayo, Ma'am Eunice Carbajal. Hello, good evening, Sir Bads Jao, watching on YouTube, may kasi Mario. Okay, halongda sa Saudi Arabia. Okay, now we go to number 3. All right, number 3, this is still in Filipino. Pinasyalan ng mag-anak ang Enchanted Kingdom noong isang buwan. Ano ang focus ng pandiwa sa ating pangungusap? Is this letter A, sanhi, letter B, tagatanggap, letter C, direksyon, or letter D, tagaganap? Ano kaya ang tamang sagot? Ma'am Checky, maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. Nanonood siya hindi lamang sa Facebook but also on YouTube. Maraming salamat po. Nakatsamba si Ma'am Norhana. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot sa ating pangatlong tanong? This is still Filipino. Ma'am Priscilla Llamas, okay lang po yan? Habol po tayo. Good evening, Ma'am Eden Taplak. Sa lahat ng ating mga first-timers, lalong-lalo na sa Facebook, no? Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig. Nawa ay matuto kayo sa amin. At of course, mag-enjoy kayo habang natututo. Thank you so much, Ma'am Roseme Black, for sharing our video on Facebook. Ma'am Vanessa Viñas, good evening. Ma'am Juniby, maraming salamat for sharing our video. Ma'am Juna, good evening po. Sir Nelson Galvez, good evening. Ma'am Serendipity, magandang gabi on, these are some people on Facebook. Sabi ni Sir Loreto sa YouTube, yung mga Filipino major, mauna kayong sumagot, susundan namin. Naghahanap na kayo ng mga karamay, ah. Okay, so again, going back to your question number 3, pinasyalan na mag-anak ang Enchanted Kingdom noong isang buwan. Ano ang focus ng pandiwa? Is it letter A, sanhi, letter B, tagatanggap, letter C, direksyon, or letter D, tagaganap? Ano nga ba yung focus ng pandiwa? Okay, let's go over the different notes that we have here. Kung ikaw ay nasa Grow, pag member ka na ng Grow, hindi nyo na po kailangan mag-take down ng notes. Nandun na po ito sa Grow. Alright, so again, focus ng pandiwa. Ang focus po ang tawag sa relasyong pansemantika. So, this is the relationship between your pandiwa and your simuno. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang relationship ng iyong verb sa subject ng iyong sentence. Ito ay naipapakita ito sa pamamagitan ng taglay na panlapi ng pandiwa. Okay, so meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng focus. Ang una po dito ay ang actor focus or focus sa tagaganap. Okay, focus sa tagaganap. Ang paksa or yung simuno ang tagaganap ng kilos, sumasagot sa tanong na sino. So your hint here for you to be able to answer this correctly, unang-una po, kailangan yung tingnan ang inyong pandiwa, naglunsad. Anong tanong ba ang sinasagot ng pandiwa mong naglunsad? Naglunsad, sino ang mga kabataan? And in this sentence, ang mga kabataan ay yung simuno or yung paksa or yung subject nga in English. So you know na ang focus ng pandiwa mo dito ay focus sa tagaganap or actor focus. Bumili, sino? Si Rosa. Okay, si Rosa ay bumili ng bulaklak. So meaning si Rosa dito ang ating simuno o paksa. Ang focus would be actor focus or focus sa tagaganap. Alright, now we go to number 2. Okay, second focus ng pandiwa. Again, if you're already on Grow, you don't need to copy anything. This is already found on Grow. Okay, pangalawang uri ng focus ng pandiwa, benepektibong focus or focus sa tagatanggap. Okay, ang iyong simuno, ang inyong paksa, ang tagatanggap ng kilos ng pandiwa. So ito ay sumasagot sa tanong na para kanino. In English, this is indirect object. For example, kami ay ipinagluto ni nanay ng masarap na ulam. So again, tingnan nyo kung anong ating pandiwa. Ipinagluto para kanino? Para sa amin. Okay? Kami ay pinagluto ni nanay. So that means ang iyong simuno, ang iyong paksa ay sumasagot sa tanong na para kanino, and so that is focus sa tagatanggap. Focus sa tagatanggap. Ang iyong simuno ang tagatanggap ng kilos ng pandiwa. Ibinili para kanino? Ibinili ni Rosa ng bulaklak ang mahal na birhen. So ang mahal na birhen dito ang iyong paksa, ang iyong simuno, at siya yung tagatanggap ng kilos ng inyong pandiwa. So that would be focus sa tagatanggap or benepektibong focus. Alright, now we go to the third type. The third type naman po ay focus sa layon. Ang paksa ang layon ng pandiwa o sumasagot sa tanong na ano. Sa English, ito po ay tinatawag na direct object. Direct object. So again, hahanapin niyo po kung ano ang inyong pandiwa. Nasira. Nasira ang ano? Nasira ang mga props. At ang mga props dito, ang siyang paksa o siyang simuno mo at siya ang sumasagot sa tanong na ano. So this one is focus sa layon. Okay? Ito po ay focus sa layon. Binili ang ano, ang bulaklak. Okay? So this would be focus sa layon or indirect object in Filipino. Okay? So mahirap nga ang Filipino kesa sa English. Tama yung sinabi mo, Ma'am Grace Flores. Now number 4, kausatibong focus o focus sa sanhi. Ang iyong paksa, ang iyong simuno ay sumasagot sa tanong na bakit. Okay, bakit? This is causative, no? Causative. So, causatibo o sanhi. Ikinatuwa namin ang pagluluto ng masarap na ulam ng aming nanay. Ang iyong pandiwa ay ikinatuwa. Bakit? Bakit nyo ikinatuwa? Dahil ito ay ang pagluluto ng masarap na ulam ng iyong nanay. So, this is focus sa sanhi o kausatibong focus. Ikinalungkot. Bakit? Okay? Dahil hindi sila nagkita ng kanila mag-anak. So again, if you are already on Grow, this is already found on Grow. At in-include ko din po sa Grow yung mga panlapi doon. No? Okay, so this is going to be easier if you can find all the notes that I have placed on Grow. Now, number 5, instrumentong focus or focus sa gamit. Ito naman ay sumasagot sa tanong na sa pamamagitan ng ano. Anong ginamit mo? Okay, so for example, ipinangluto. Sa pamamagitan ng ano? Pamamagitan ng kaldero. Ang kaldero ang ipinangluto ni nanay ng masarap na ulam namin. Ipinampuna sa pamamagitan ng ano? Ng basahan. So this would be focus sa gamit or instrumentong focus. Now we go to the next one, lokatibong focus or focus sa ganapan. Ito naman ay sumasagot sa tanong na saan. Okay, so ang paksa, ang lugar na ginaganapan ng pandiwa. Pinagtaniman, saan? Pinagbilhan, saan? Okay, and this is going to be your simuno or your paksa. So ang tindahan, ang pinagbilhan ni Rosa ng bulaklak. That means, ang focus dito ay focus sa ganapan. Ang simuno, ang iyong paksa, ang pinangyarihan ng iyong pandiwa. Pinangyarihan, ginaganapan ng iyong pandiwa. And the last one, of course, would be focus sa direksyon. Ito ay sumasagot sa tanong na tungo saan or kanino. Tungo kanino. So for example, sinulatan niya, tungo kanino, pinuntahan niya, tungo saan. Okay, so this would be focus sa direksyon. Focus sa direksyon. Again, all of these notes are already found on Grow. If you are already on Grow, then there's no need for you to copy all this. Okay, now going back to your question, pinasyalan ng mag-anak ang Enchanted Kingdom noong isang buwan. Anong focus ng pandiwa dito? Pinasyalan, tungo saan? Okay, tungo saan? So that would be answering the question, tungo saan? Okay, so that means this would be letter C, direksyon. Okay, so letter C po, direksyon, ang tamang sagot. Ang napakahirap po ng Filipino, di ba? Mahirap yung Filipino. Maraming salamat, Congresswoman Joy Dairit, for your maagang pakape. Maraming salamat po para sa inyong ayuda sa Gurong Pinoy. So again, number 3 would be letter C. Your focus is focus sa direksyon. Okay, so pinasyalan, tungo saan. So that's letter C, direksyon po. Now we go to number 4. Okay, this is still Filipino. Ang hirap ng Filipino. Magtatrabaho ako at ikaw ay mag-aaral upang mapabuti ang ating buhay. Anong uri ng pangungusap ito? Is it letter A, payak, letter B, hugnayan, letter C, tambalan, letter D, langkapan? Ano kaya ang tamang sagot? For number 4. O ayan, si Ma'am Danica, unang-una, nakapagsagot na. Ma'am Danica yata ay Filipino major. Ma'am Maylene. Okay, good evening po sa inyong lahat na nandyan sa YouTube. Ang ating mga parokyano nandyan sa YouTube. Of course, good evening din sa mga nanonood sa atin sa Facebook. Maraming salamat po for joining us in our live stream. We are studying Gurong Pinoy. And we are here to help you pass the let. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Checky, for your compliments. Talaga pong totoo yung sinasabi ninyo, sabi ni Ma'am Grace Flores, mas mahirap daw ang Filipino kaysa sa English. Okay, totoo po yan. Okay, so mahirap po talaga yung Filipino sa let. Mahirap yung mga topics sa Filipino. Sinabi ko nga ito sa inyo dati pa, when I was reviewing Filipino, lagi ang aking lowest. Okay, mahirap, nakaka-stress din itong Filipino. All right, now a lot of you are answering the letter C. The rest of you, sana yung mga tao dito sa YouTube, wala na nag-answer. Wala nang sumagot. O, ayun. Okay, may C, may B. Karamihan C, may B, may D. B, hula. Alright, now sabi dito ng question mo, magtatrabaho ako at ikaw ay mag-aaral upang mapabuti ang ating buhay. Anong uri ng pangungusap ito? Napuntahan po natin ang uri ng mga pangungusap na meron tayo. Again, if you are already on Grow, you don't need to copy anything. This is already posted on Grow. Okay, meron po tayong 4 na anyo ng pangungusap. Unang-una po ay payak. So pag sinabi mo payak na pangungusap, nagbibigay po ito ng isang buong kaisipan lamang. So for example, your sentence there is, bumili ng bagong aklat si Simon. Okay, bumili ng bagong aklat si Simon, isang buong kaisipan lamang. So that's payak. Next one is tambalan. Ito ay binubuo ng 2 o higit pang sugnay na makapag-iisa. When you say sugnay na makapag-iisa, this is your clause. Okay, so this is a clause or independent clause. So for example, sinabi mo, bumili ng bagong aklat si Simon at nanood ng sine si Marie. Okay, so meron ka ditong 2 sugnay na makapag-iisa. This is the first sugnay, and this is the other one. Okay, at of course, they are joined by your conjunction act. Okay, so this is tambalan, binubuo ng 2 o higit pang sugnay na makapag-iisa. Ito po yung pinaka-importante sa parteng ito. Dapat yung sugnay mo ay makapag-iisa. They are independent clauses. That means kahit na kinuha mo ito, pwede siyang maging isang pangungusap. Nanood ng sine si Marie. Okay? Bumili ng bagong aklat si Simon. So pwede siyang maging isang pangungusap. Number 3 naman ay hugnayan. Pag sinabi mong hugnayan, binubuo ng isang sugnay na makapag-iisa at isang sugnay na di makapag-iisa. Ibig sabihin ay meron kang independent clause at meron ka ding dependent clause. Okay? So independent clause at dependent clause. Ginagamit ito or ginagamitan ito ng pang-ugnay na kung, upang, dahil, kapag, pag, sapagkat. Halimbawa, bumili ng bagong aklat si Simon upang marami siyang matutunan. So this one would be your sugnay na di makapag-iisa. This is your dependent clause. And this one naman is your independent clause. Pwede siyang maging isang pangungusap. Bumili ng bagong aklat si Simon, pero this part of your sentence ay sugnay na di makapag-iisa. Meaning ay hindi siya kompletong pangungusap upang marami siyang matutunan. Okay? Hindi kompleto. So it cannot stand alone. That's why we call this your dependent clause. So if you have this, one independent and one dependent clause, you'd call that hugnayan. Okay, so ito po ay hugnayan. And the last type, of course, would be your langkapan. Binubuo ng dalawang sugnay na makapag-iisa at isang sugnay na di makapag-iisa. So meron kang dalawang sugnay na makapag-iisa. That means meron kang dalawang independent clauses at meron kang isang dependent clauses. So sa makatuwid, meron kang isang tambalan. Okay, merong tambalan na part, dahil tambalan of course, meron kang dalawang sugnay na makapag-iisa, at meron ka ding part na hugnayan. Okay, so your hint dito, ginagawa ko lagi pag nagtuturo ako nito, langkapan, your hint, what you can use is taho equals langka. Again, taho equals langka. Tambalan plus hugnayan equals langkapan. So pag meron kang tambalan at may hugnayan, ang tamang sagot mo would be langkapan. For example, you say, nanood ng sine si Marie, that's one independent clause. So sugnay na makapag-iisa yan. Bumili naman ng bagong aklat si Simon. Okay, so this is also your independent clause. So that means tambalan na yan. Upang marami siyang matutunan, meron kang isang dependent clause, sugnay na di makapag-iisa. Okay, so that would be tambalan plus hugnayan, taho equals langka. Taho equals langka, tambalan plus hugnayan equals langkapan. So the correct answer therefore here, magtatrabaho ako, isang sugnay na makapag-iisa, at ikaw ay mag-aaral, sugnay na makapag-iisa, upang mapabuti ang ating buhay, hindi makapag-iisa, that would be langkapan. Okay, ligwak. Okay, so langkapan, tama po kayo, Ma'am Junive. Ligwak, langkapan po ang tamang sagot. Okay, so taho equals langka. Okay, Ma'am Zarly Narbonito, maraming salamat for watching on Facebook. Ma'am Chari Lamson Pedregosa, maraming salamat po for watching. These are our alumni, all licensed professional teachers now, also products of StudyLink Gurong Pinoy. Okay, now we go to number 5. This is in the category of science. The existence of extraterrestrial life may never be proven, but this idea becomes more scientifically acceptable over time if you have your choices there. Galing ng mga nakatama. From Bicol Tiwi Albay, Magayon. Sir Javier Credo, good evening po. Kaka-open lang, busy sa bahay. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 5? This is science. Sabi ni Sir Jeffrey Arida, hindi ibig sabihin ng Filipino madali. Mahirap yung Filipino actually. Again, maraming salamat po sa mga naunang nagbigay na sa atin ng ayuda. Sir Mark Prince del Campo and Ma'am Joy Dairit, maraming salamat sa inyong paayuda for StudyLink Gurong Pinoy. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 5? Jal Sponge, enjoy watching from the Mom Saudi. Good evening or good afternoon po sa inyo dyan. Ma'am Rabia Lalawog, Mid-Timbang. Good evening po, Sir Ferdinand Nogaliza. Good evening. Again, please like this video, like our Facebook page. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please share this video on your Facebook accounts. Please share it with your classmates. Tag your classmates if you may. Maraming salamat sa inyong ayuda, Ma'am Norhana Ismael, our kapitana. Maraming salamat po. Okay, now going back to your question, marami sa inyo sa YouTube ang sumasagot ng letter C. Sa Facebook, may mga C din, no? Ma'am Aika Sibal, good evening. Okay, now sabi dito sa number 5 mo, the existence of extraterrestrial life may never be proven, but this idea becomes more scientifically acceptable over time if, is it letter A, alternative hypothesis is proposed and confirmed, no one disputes this idea in a scientific forum. Letter C, increasing scientific evidence supports the idea, hypotheses are made related to one idea. Kailan ba nagiging acceptable yung mga hypothesis sa ating science? Okay, so when can something be acceptable in science? Of course, the correct answer is letter C, increasing scientific evidence supports the idea. Pag meron na tayong scientific evidences, then that would be easily supported, okay? Then your idea can be easily accepted, okay? So letter C po ang tamang sagot for question number 5. Now we go to number 6. This is social studies. You'd like to know how many of your grade 3 pupils have mothers who are presently employed as OFWs. What is or are the most reliable way to gather data? Is it letter number 1, interview the pupils? Number 2, give questionnaire checklist to selected pupils? Number 3 mo, study the grades of the pupils because those performing poorly usually have parents who work as OFWs. And then you have your choices there. Is it 1 and 2, 1 only, 2 only? Letter D, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Junive on Facebook, pahirap ng pahirap yung review this week. Okay lang po yan. Don't give up. That means mas marami po kayong matututunan. Ma'am Rabia is watching from Maguindanao. Thank you po, Sir Nelson. I'm glad that you are enjoying while answering the questions. Ma'am Jasmine Ponciano, good evening po. Ma'am Christine, nagpalit ng answer. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 6? Okay. A lot of you are answering with B, may A, may C. Dito naman sa Facebook, may A, may B din. Ma'am Roslyn, Hebulan. Okay, sumasagot na sila. All right, now going back to your question, you'd like to know how many of your grade 3 pupils have mothers who are presently employed as OFWs. Again, your hint here is that your students are grade 3 pupils. Okay, grade 3 pupils po, napakabata pa. So ano nga ba yung tamang paraan na gagamitin mo para makakuha ka ng data? Okay, interview the pupils, give questionnaire checklist to selected pupils, study the grades of the pupils because those performing poorly usually have parents who work as OFWs. Okay, so number 3 mo ay medyo discriminating ito. Sabi na number 3, kapag OFW yung nanay o yung parents ay mababa yung grade. So we know that we cannot choose number 3. So that means ligwak na itong letter D natin. Now we still have 2 other things here that we can use. Interview the pupils or give questionnaire checklist to selected pupils only. Now, alalahanin niyo po, yung pupils natin ay grade 3 pa lamang. Okay, so that means pag bibigyan mo sila ng checklist, maaaring mahirapan siyang magbasa, maaari din na mali yung maging interpretation niya sa kanyang binabasa. So, hindi din po ito po pwede. Siguro kung grade 6 yung estudyante mo, or siguro kung nasa high school na yung estudyante mo, pwedeng-pwede nasa college. Okay? Pero yung pupils po dito, grade 3 pa po lamang. Okay? So the best method that you can use here would only be number 1. Okay? Interviewin niyo lamang, saan nagtatrabaho si nanay mo? Ano ginagawa ng nanay mo? Okay? So that would be letter B, 1 only. Okay? So again, letter B po, One only ang tamang sagot. Okay? Interview lamang po. Hindi po pwedeng checklist dahil sobrang bata nung ating estudyante dito. Okay? So letter B lamang po ang tamang sagot. Alright, now we go to number 7. Printed on the label of a bottle of cough medicine is the following instructions. Store away from light and below 30 degrees Celsius. What can you infer about the cough medicine? Okay, this is in the category of science. It can even be considered under reading comprehension. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot? The rest of the people on Facebook, please answer with us. Ma'am Jessa Emolaga, hi po. Good evening. Sir Alexis John Hisula Villahermosa, good evening po. Ma'am Vanessa Keith, good evening po, watching on Facebook. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot sa question number 7? Sabi ni Sir Efren dito, masyadong excited sumagot. Okay, so medyo magtimpi-timpi po tayo. Take your time. Buti nagpalit, sabi ni Ma'am Christine. Buti napalitan yung sagot, sabi ni Ma'am Danica. Alright, now a lot of you are answering with C and B on YouTube. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? On Facebook naman, maraming A, maraming B. Alright, so again, number 7 here. The question is printed on the label of a bottle of cough medicine is the following instruction. Store away from light and below 30 degrees Celsius. What can you infer about the cough medicine? Letter A, it is in a dark, light-absorbing bottle. Okay, sabi ng iyong question, dapat hindi mo siya nilalagay sa malapit sa light at dapat nasa below 30 degrees Celsius siya. Okay, so hindi siya dapat malapit sa light and below 30 degrees Celsius dapat yung optimum or yung tamang temperature. It is in a dark, light-absorbing bottle. Letter B, it is affected by heat and light. Letter C, it should be stored in the refrigerator. Or letter D, it should be hidden away from children. The correct answer here is letter B. It is affected by heat and light. Dahil sabi nga sa inyong tanong, store away from light and of course 30 degrees Celsius dapat. So that means kung ilalagay mo siya sa maaraw na lugar, mainit na lugar, it is going to be affected. So that's letter B. Letter B, it is affected by heat and light. Okay, so number 7 po, letter B, ang tamang sagot natin. Okay, now we go to number 8. A lady actively participates in a group task and dutifully performs tasks assigned to her. What scientific attitude is displayed in this situation? Is it letter A, unity, letter B, camaraderie, letter C, not being a team player, letter D, responsibility? This is science. Okay, science po ito. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot? Ma'am Rica Garde, we welcome you. Ma'am Quenchan Sabalia, Sir Erickson Ungria, Ma'am Carmina Domingo, Ma'am Devora Joy Magmanlak, Sir Mark na late, habol po. Ayan na naman, Sir Javier. Sino po dyan single? Si Sir Mark po, single. Sir Omar, hindi nakapag-yay. Okay, now, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 8? This is scientific attitudes in science. Again, those people who are watching us on Facebook, we would appreciate it if you can answer with us and learn with us. Sir Jerome Rimando Swing, good evening po. Ma'am Crystal Alarcon Rodriguez, good evening. Okay, so again, going back to your question here, a lady actively participates in a group task and dutifully performs tasks assigned to her. What scientific attitude is displayed in this situation? Is it choice A, unity, letter B, camaraderie? Not being a team player, we know that this cannot be the correct answer anymore because it says she actively participates in a group task. Okay, is it unity or camaraderie or responsibility? Unity, camaraderie is almost mean the same thing. Okay? At sabi dito kasi actively participates in a group task. So pwede nating sabihin na meron siyang unity, meron siyang camaraderie. Pero sabi ng second part ng sentence mo, she also dutifully performs tasks assigned to her. Hindi lamang yung group task, pero yung mga task na naka-assign sa kanya individually ay ginagawa din niya. So the correct answer here would be letter D, responsibility. Letter D, responsibility is the correct answer. Ang daming nakatama sa Facebook. Halos lahat tama. Congratulations. Ganon din sa YouTube. Ang dami ding letter D. Okay, now we go to number 9. This is still scientific attitude on for science. Ma'am Izay Nadshuman. Good evening po. Ma'am Maria Beatriz Solina. Okay, Paulo admits that he is not free from committing errors. He recognizes that he may have to consult experts to arrive at the correct observations and conclusions. What scientific attitude is he displaying? Is it letter A, curiosity, letter B, subjectivity, letter C, open-mindedness, letter D, rationality? Ano kaya ang tamang sagot for question number 9? Okay, what scientific attitude do you think is being described in question number 9? Ma'am EJ Saison Salarda, thank you for watching us from Namocon, Tigbawan, Iloilo, my sister. Sir Devin Lester Ibanez, thank you for watching us. Sir Devin is one of our alumni, now a licensed professional teacher from West Visayas State University. Ma'am Aslia Ampang, good evening po. Ma'am Marjeline Gonzalez, good evening. Okay, now a lot of people on Facebook are answering with the letter C. Ma'am Jasmine Ponciano, good evening. Ma'am Cristel Salita, former StudyLink student, now licensed teacher, good evening po. Ma'am Corby Neal, good evening. Ma'am Grace Factura, Sir Lester Mahilom. All right, now the rest of the people on YouTube are also answering with the letter C, my D, my B. Okay, so again, we are still talking about scientific attitudes. As sabi dito, Paulo admits that he is not free from committing errors. Alam niya na nagkakamali siya. He recognizes that he may have to consult other experts to arrive at the correct observation. So he knows that he is not the best. He still needs to consult other people. Now, what scientific attitude is he displaying? Okay. Now, when you say curiosity, of course, this means you have a lot of questions about things that are happening around you and you'd want to find answers to these questions. Pag sinabi mo naman subjectivity naman, this means meron kang bias. The opposite of this would be objectivity. Pag objectivity ka naman, pag meron kang objectivity, that means you are fair. Okay, open-mindedness, you are open to criticisms, you're open to suggestions, okay? So you don't think that you're the best, you don't think that you're perfect. Rationality naman, of course, this means you are using your reasoning, your logic when you're doing decisions, you're making decisions when you're doing things. Okay, so the correct answer here would be letter C, open-mindedness. Open-mindedness is the correct answer. Okay, so you are open to suggestions, the suggestions of others, and you know that you are not perfect. That's open-mindedness. All right, now we go to number 10. Your category is math, one of your favorite categories. Okay, how much interest would be paid on a bank loan of 30,000 pesos for 8 months at 12% annual interest? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 10? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 10? This is math. Okay, some of you are already answering on YouTube. Good evening, Ma'am Jasmine Ponciano, watching from Caloocan City. Sir Devin Ibanez says, kudos, SLRTC goes worldwide. Proud SLRTian here. We are so excited to have SLRTC back in business. Thank you po. Thank you, Sir Devin Lester Ibanez. One of our former SLRTC students, now a licensed professional teacher. So be like Sir Devin. Okay, some people are answering with, iba-iba na yung sagot nyo. On YouTube, I can see A, B, C, D. Halo-halo na. On Facebook, I see D, C. Thank you, Sir Nelson, for your compliment. My C. All right, let's go back to your question. The question is, how much interest would be paid on a bank loan of 30,000 pesos for 8 months at 12% annual interest? Okay, so again, if you are being asked for the interest, your formula would just be, this is just simple interest. Hindi naman sinabi na every year ay compounded yung interest mo, no? So interest, the formula is there. That's principal times rate times time. Now, principal here is the original amount. Rate is the number with the percentage sign. But of course, if you are already multiplying, don't forget to convert your rate into decimal form. So, i-convert mo lamang ito into decimal form, and that would mean just move the decimal point 2 times to the left. And time, multiplied by time, this is also very important. Make sure that your time here is in years, not months. Okay? Hindi po pwedeng months, but it should be measured in years. All right, now going back to your question here, to your given quantities, your interest would be equal to principal of 30,000. That's the original amount that you've loaned. Times 0.12. 0.12, again, that's the rate. We've just converted it to its decimal form. Just move the decimal point 2 times to the left. Times time. Again, time should be in years. Time should be in years. So that means your 8 months here, 8 months po, should be divided by 12 dahil meron tayong 12 months in a year. So that's why we wrote this as 8 out of 12. You're only given 8 months. Therefore, this means interest is 30,000 times 0.12 times 2/3. Your 8/12s can be written in simplest term, and that will be 2/3. Paano naging 2/3 to? We've divided them by their GCF, which is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 12 divided by 4, of course, is 3. So we have 2/3. Now, what we do is we multiply these 3 terms first. Okay, so 30,000 multiplied by 0.12 multiplied by 2. Then after we get the product, we divide that by 3. Okay, so that means you have 7,200 divided by 3, and that gives us the correct answer, which is 2,400. Okay, so letter C po, 2,400 is the correct answer. Okay, so maraming tama on Facebook. Okay, marami din naman sa YouTube nakatama. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer. That's 2,400. Again, tandaan, the time here should be in years. You cannot put time in months. All right, now we go to number 11. What is a counting number that is less than 15 and when divided by 3 has a remainder of 1? This is still math. Okay, pero this is easy math lang. Chamba-chamba, Ma'am Izay Natsuman. Ligwak na naman, Sir Omar Italia. Okay lang po yan. Importante po ay natututo tayo. Okay, tama ka, Ma'am Jessa Emulaga. Former SLRTian. Okay, now what is a counting number that is less than 15 and when divided by 3 has a remainder of 1? Ito po yung ating question for number 11. This is still math. Okay, ang dami nang sumasagot sa YouTube. Ang bilis na naman nilang sumagot. May D, may C. Okay, Ma'am Junive on Facebook says letter D. Okay, Ma'am Aslia is also answering. So again, we are looking for a counting number that is less than 15. Less than 15. So lahat naman ito less than 15. So that means lahat ito ay posibleng maging tamang sagot. Pero sabi ng question mo, when divided by 3, has a remainder of 1. Okay? So dapat pag di-divide mo siya ng 3, meron siyang remainder of 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So whole number siya, wala siyang remainder. 8 divided by 3 is 2. Okay? So 2, that's 6. Tapos meron siyang remainder of 2. 5 divided by 3, that would be 1. Meron siyang remainder of 2. Okay? Because that would give you 3 na quotient. Tapos may remainder siya na 2. And so the correct answer, of course, would be letter D. Okay? So 10 divided by 3, we know that 9 is 3 times 3 times 3. And of course, that still has a remainder of 1. So letter D po ang tamang sagot. Letter D is the correct answer for question number 11. All right, now we go to number 12. Which of the following environmental conditions has been blamed for the usual occurrence of fish kill? Is it letter A, silting of lakes, letter B, acid rain, letter C, eutrophication, letter D, atmospheric pollution? Watching from Cebu City, good evening po, Ma'am Erwisa Sampang Ibrahim. Si Ma'am Eva, napaha. Okay, number 12. A lot of you are already answering. Number 12. Karamihan sa mga tao nasa YouTube natin, their answer is B. Okay, sa Facebook, may nag-answer ng D, may C. So, iba-iba na. Ma'am Grace Factura, good evening po. Ma'am Ednami Tinonas Temblor, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Ma'am Nedjen Espinosa Labian, good evening po. Watching from North Cotabato, Ma'am Jessamay Emolaga, LPT. All right, so again, number 12, which of the following environmental conditions has been blamed for the usual occurrence of fish kill? Ano nga ba yung tamang sagot dito? Sabi ni Sir Jeffrey Arida, fish kill means the lack of oxygen. Tama po yan. Pag sinabi mong fish kill, ito po yung nangyayari pag nakikita natin na maraming tubig yung nasa dagat or nasa ilog, for example, no? Nakalutang na sila at puro na sila patay. Okay, so that's fish kill. Now, what do you think would be the cause of this? Ito nga yung sabi ni Sir Jeffrey Arida, tama po yan sinabi ni Sir, this is because of the lack of dissolved oxygen na para sa ating mga isda. Kulang sila sa dissolved oxygen sa tubig. And so what happens is that they die. Okay, what do you think is the answer for this? Now, let's take a look at the choices that we have. The first one is silting. Second one is acid rain, eutrophication, atmospheric pollution. Now, when you say atmospheric pollution, of course, you know that this is just air pollution. Okay, this is air pollution, atmospheric pollution. Ang acid rain mo naman, this is a process through which the seeds of salt, okay, yung asin po, seeds of salt or compounds of salt are planted on our clouds para umulan. Okay, so artificial rain itong acid rain natin. So this is what happens if there's drought. Okay, pag masyadong tag-init, masyadong tagtuyot, yung ginagawa ng gobyerno minsan ay nagka-cloud seeding sila, no? So cloud seeding, acid rain yung tawag sa kanya dahil actually yung nilalagay sa clouds mo are compounds of salt. Okay, so ini-induce yung ulan para umulan. Now, you have silting of lakes and eutrophication. Halos magkaparehas po itong silting of lakes and eutrophication natin. The only difference is that, ibig sabihin po nito ay may mga materials na pumupunta sa lakes, may mga materials na pumupunta sa bodies of water natin. Ang kaibahan lamang sa silting of lakes po, when you say silting, what happens is that organic materials po yung pumupunta sa lakes. That means natural materials po yung pumupunta sa lakes natin. So when you say silting, for example, nagkabaha. So what happens is that you have pebbles, you have sand, you have stones na pumupunta sa inyong lawa. In this case, no, sa question natin, sa choice A natin, silting of lakes. That means umaagos, dumadaloy, papunta sa iyong lawa, itong mga silt mo. Silt mo yung mga sediments, sand mo, pebbles sa maliliit na bato, no? Pero yung eutrophication mo naman, ito po yung nangyayari. Eutrophication would happen if you have nutrient intakes. For example, dito, for example, meron kang ilog. For example, we assume that this river here is beside a farmland at meron kang bukid dyan, meron kang farmland. Tinataniman mo ng palay, mais, whatever, and you are using fertilizers. Okay, you are using fertilizers on your farmland. At ano mangyayari, ay pupunta itong nutrients mo pag merong baha or umapaw yung tubig, for example, yung nutrients na galing sa yung fertilizers ay pumupunta dito sa river. Okay? Dahil dyan, nagkaka-nutrients itong mga algae mo, yung mga lumot-lumot, yung mga lumot mo no, dyan sa body of water mo, ay nagkaka-nutrients. And so we call this algal bloom. Pag sinabi mong algal bloom, napaka-healthy ng algae mo. No? Dumami yung lumot mo sa yung body of water. So because of that, dahil sa algal bloom mo, masyadong dumami itong algae mo, masyadong tumaba yung algae mo, they would now compete with your fish and other creatures there for your oxygen. Okay, so makikipag-compete ito ngayon sa oxygen. We know that algae would also be using oxygen. At ganun din, of course, your different creatures here. So what happens ay makikipag-kompetensya siya. Your algae would compete with fish for the oxygen content of your body of water. So that when that happens, oxygen content becomes scarce, okay? May scarcity po ng oxygen, and so we can have fish kill. And so the correct answer here would be letter C, that's eutrophication. Eutrophication po ang tamang sagot. Okay, so eutrophication is the correct answer. Now, take note of this question. Let's September 2017, this question came out in the GenEd 3 times po. Okay, so 3 times the same question, the same choices. So kung 3 times ka doon, na mali yung sagot mo, that means minus 3 ka. Okay, so 3 times po itong question na to in Let's September 2017, the same question, the same answer. Okay, so letter C po, eutrophication is the correct answer. Now we go to number 13. Okay, still in the category of science. Which of the following does not belong to life science? Cytology, letter B, physics, letter C, botany, letter D, genetics. Sir Clover Skynix, good evening po. Sir Lester Dan Mahilom. Ma'am Mary Rose Lucido. Ma'am Marjoline Gonzalez, good evening. Pang-apat na ligwak na, Ma'am Junive, okay lang po yan. Ang importante po, natututo tayo. Sir Loreto, hindi makapaniwala. Sabi ni Sir Loreto, no, president natin sa YouTube, no way. Ligwak. Okay, so that's eutrophication po, eutrophication. Mali sila, Ma'am Kenchan. Okay, now going back to question number 13, again, we're looking for life science. Is this cytology, physics, botany, or genetics? The question is, which does not belong to life science? Which does not belong to life science? Ma'am Rachel Suwan, balikan niyo na lamang po. Okay, so again, question number 13, which of the following does not belong to life science? Which of the following branches of science okay, karamihan na nasa Facebook, yung answer nyo ay A. Okay, karamihan naman sa YouTube, yung answer is B. All right, now let's go over the different choices that we have here. Again, we're looking for something that is not part of life science. Meron pong two major branches yung science, no? So one branch would be physical science, the other branch would be life science. Okay? So ano nga ba ditong hindi parte ng life science? So meaning parte siya dapat ng physical science. When you say cytology, this is the study of cells. So again, cytology is the study of cells. The father of cytology, of course, is Robert Hooke, the first person to study the cells. Now, we have a separate video on cytology, on the different parts of the cells. So make sure that you watch our video. Not only that, make sure that you watch all the playlists that we have that are relevant for your LET, your GenEd playlist, your ProfEd playlist, and your live streams for GenEd and ProfEd discussion. So again, when you say cytology po, this is the study of cells. Father of cytology is Robert Hooke. Physics naman, of course, this is the study of the properties of matter and energy. Study of the properties of matter and energy. Botany is the study of plants. Okay, scientific study of plants, that's botany. Genetics, of course, the study of heredity. The study of how character traits are passed on from parents to their kids. That's genetics. The father of genetics is Gregor Mendel. Okay, now the correct answer, of course, would be letter B. Okay, letter B, that's physics. So physics po, of course, that's part of physical science. Okay, so letter B, that's part of physical science, so that's the correct answer. Okay, now we go to number 14, still in science. Number 14 mo, molting is a process where insects shed off their old cuticle to grow in size. This is called what? Okay, molting is a process where insects shed off their old cuticle to grow in size. This is called cyclosis, ecdysis, metamorphosis, sclerotic peel. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot for question number 14, category science? Sir Lester Mahilom, kapit lang po kayo. Do not give up. Balik lang po kayo ng balik. We are going to discuss everything and this would all help you pass the LET. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 14? Karamihan sa inyo on YouTube, your answers are C, may A, may D. Ma'am Maricel Cayetano, good evening po. Okay, so C, butterfly. Okay, again, question number 14. Molting is a process where insects shed off their old cuticle. Ito yung sinabi dito. Molting is a process where insects shed off their old cuticle to grow in size. This is called what? Is it letter A, cyclosis, letter B, ecdysis, letter C, metamorphosis, or letter D, sclerotic peel? Now, sa mga sumagot ng letter D, when you say sclerotic peel po, sclerotic, sclerosis, in science, this means the bone. Okay, so sclerotic peel, peeling of some parts of the bone. That's why when you say multiple sclerosis, may problema sa bone ang isang tao. Good evening, Ma'am Maricel Cayetano. Now, so that means letter D cannot be the correct answer. We're all just left with cyclosis, ecdysis, and metamorphosis. Okay, the correct answer here would be letter B, ecdysis. Yan po yung nangyayari. Letter B po, ecdysis is the correct answer for question number 14. So again, that would be letter B, ecdysis. Now, bakit hindi cyclosis? Bakit hindi metamorphosis? Your cyclosis, pag sinabi mong cyclosis, this is the term that is used when materials are being regulated, when the materials are transferred or are transported within the cell. Okay? So sa cell mo, pag tinatransport yung materials, that would be called cyclosis. Cyclosis pong tawag dito. So this example that we have here, on your picture, that is plant cell. Okay, so when materials are distributed in a plant cell, you'd call that cyclosis. Cyclosis po tawag dyan. Now, yung choice C mo naman, metamorphosis, tama yung sinabi mo, Sir Jeffrey. Sir Jeffrey ba yung nagsabi na metamorphosis, butterfly? Okay, Sir Jeffrey nga. Pero we're talking about, when you say metamorphosis, that is the life cycle of a butterfly. Life cycle po yan. Yung tanong kasi natin, yung pag-peel ng cuticle. Yung term po doon is ecdysis. And metamorphosis naman would be the life cycle of your insects. Okay, not just butterflies, but also your insects. Now, meron po tayong two types of metamorphosis. Meron po tayong complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. Pag sinabi mong complete metamorphosis, meron kang 4 stages. Pag sinabi mo namang incomplete metamorphosis, 3 lamang yung stages mo. Now, unahin ko itong complete metamorphosis nyo, no? Yung sinabi nga ni Sir Jeffrey na in the butterfly, okay? So this is your complete metamorphosis dahil meron kang 4 na stages. Now, tandaan nyo po itong acronym na ELPA, egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Okay, so yung acronym mo po ay ELPA, egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Minsan kasi, tinatanong ito ng LET sa inyo, which among the following shows the correct sequence of the stages in a complete metamorphosis. Okay, so pinapa-arrange sa inyo yung stages ng metamorphosis. So that's ELPA, egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Meron ding ibang lumalabas na term sa LET with regards to complete metamorphosis. Merong tinatanong, what do you call the larval stage of a butterfly? Okay, now the answer for that would be caterpillar. Okay, so when you say caterpillar, that's the larval part, the larval stage of your butterfly. The larva of the butterfly is called a caterpillar. Pag tadpole naman po, ang sagot nyo would be tadpole naman sa frogs. Okay, so tadpole naman yung tawag mo sa larval stage ng iyong palaka. Now, what about for your pupa? May terms then for pupa. Pupa ng butterfly mo, you call this chrysalis. Okay, so chrysalis po ang tawag sa pupa, pupal stage ng yung butterfly. Sa frog po, ang tawag dyan ay metamorph. Okay, tawag naman po ay metamorph. So yan po yung mga lumalabas sa LET with regards to your complete metamorphosis. Now, I have also mentioned that there's another type of metamorphosis that only has 3 stages, and you call that your incomplete metamorphosis. And one example for that would be this. This is your grasshopper. Okay, so some other insects do not undergo the 4 stages. Some of them would undergo just the 3 stages. And in that case, yung acronym po nyo ay ENA. ENA, egg, nymph, and adult. Okay, so pag ang question ay about incomplete metamorphosis, 3 lamang po yung stages and your acronym is ENA, egg, nymph, adult. Okay, so second stage po niya ay nymph. But then the correct answer, of course, in question number 14 is ecdysis. Okay, so ecdysis po yan, letter B. Okay, now we go to question number 15. 15 na po tayo. This is still in science. What nutrients can be absorbed in our body without undergoing digestion? Is it letter A, fats, letter B, vitamins, letter C, carbohydrates, letter D, proteins? Ma'am Earl Bax, good evening. Late siya. Sobrang hina ng signal ng globe. Mag-review na lang siya mamaya. Okay. Using her YouTube account. Ma'am Naomi Lee, good evening po. Ma'am Limon, good evening. Again, please share our video on your Facebook account so that we can help more people pass the LET. Share it to the rest of the groups that you have. Ma'am Jorin o Clarit, for you to join Grow po, isend nyo po yan as a private message on our Facebook page po. Hanapin nyo po yung Facebook page natin na Guro Pinoy. Okay, may A, may B, may AB. Ano ba talaga yung sagot nyo? A, B, AB? All right, now going back to your question here. what nutrients can be absorbed in our body without undergoing digestion? Meaning, hindi na kailangan na i-digest siya ng body mo, maa-absorb siya ng body mo. Now, before I go to the question, thank you so much, Ma'am Meliciano. Sir Meliciano CG, done liking the video. Thank you po. Now, going back to your question here, before I answer the question, I'd like you to please take note of the following. Marami pong terms dito, maraming part nito na lumalabas sa let. Now, your vitamins, may vitamins po and minerals, meron na po tayong separate na video on this. Tingnan nyo po sa GenEd playlist natin. Lumalabas po kasi sa let yung mga klase ng vitamin, lumalabas din yung mga deficiency nila. So, anong tawag pag may deficiency yung isang tao sa vitamin B? You'd call that beriberi. Vitamin C, that's scurvy. Vitamin D, rickets. Vitamin A, anong tawag? Okay? Pag kulang ka sa iron, anong deficiency yan? Pag kulang ka sa, anong tawag sa deficiency in iron? Pag kulang ka sa iodine, anong tawag? Okay? So, lumalabas po yan sa let. So, tingnan nyo po yung video natin on vitamins and minerals. Nasa GenEd playlist po natin. Now, your fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, these are 3 biomolecules. Pag sinasabi po nating biomolecules, these are the molecules that keep us alive. Okay? So, meron tayong 4 na biomolecules. That's fats, carbohydrates, proteins, and nucleic acids. Iba-iba po yung kanilang function sa ating katawan. We know that carbohydrates, these are food that give us energy. Okay? So, kanin, starch, sugar, soda mo, no? Pag may sugar, maraming sugar, that's carbohydrates. So, carbs po yan, tinapay. Ang proteins mo naman, this is very much needed in the maintenance, the repair of your cells. Okay? So, proteins mo is needed for the regeneration of your cells. So, ang mga mayayaman sa protina, meron tayong legumes, yung mga beans natin, meat natin. So, pag na-decompose na ito, nagiging uric acid. Nagiging uric acid itong proteins mo, no? So, kapag palagi kang kumakain ng beans, palagi kang kumakain ng meat, mataas yung uric acid mo, kaya nagkaka-gout ka. No? Kaya sinasabi nila na bawal sa arthritis yung munggo. Okay, because munggo, these are types of beans that we have. Okay, so that's proteins, but of course they are needed by the body because they're needed in the regeneration of our cells. Now, ang fats mo naman, not all fats are bad. We also have some good fats, yung tinatawag natin good fats. Cholesterol, not all cholesterol types are bad. Meron kang mga cholesterol na ginagamit sa brain mo, proper functioning ng brain mo. So, yung function ng fats mo naman is of course for insulation. So, nagdadagdag siya ng insulation. So, pag ikaw ay konti lang yung fats mo sa katawan mo, ibig sabihin ay lamigin ka. Mabilis kang ginawin, no? Ginawin ka, lamigin ka. So that's dahil kulang ka sa fats sa iyong katawan. So fats would give us insulation. Another function of your fats is that your fats cushion your internal organs. That means pinoprotect din niya yung internal organs mo. So pag ikaw ay, for example, hinold up ka at ikaw ay sinaksak, pag makapal yung fats mo, advantage yan sa'yo. Advantageous yan dahil maaring hindi maabot yung mga internal organs mo dahil nga yung fats mo ay nagpo-protect sa internal organs mo. So wag kang mahiya pag malaki yung bilbil mo. Okay? So fats they're also very important in cushioning, in protecting our internal organs. Now, of course, fats is also very important because they are also sources of energy pero mas concentrated lang sila na form of energy. Okay? So, kaya pag gusto mo mag-diet, kung gusto mong pumayat, kailangan less yung carbohydrates na kinakain mo dahil, di ba, yung main source of energy natin ay carbohydrates. Pag less yung carbohydrates mo, yung gagamitin ngayon ng katawan mo as the source of energy would be fats. Kaya papayat ka. Kukonti or ninipis yung bilbil mo pag konti lang yung kain mo ng carbohydrates. Alright, so those are your biomolecules. But going back to your question here, the question is what nutrients can be absorbed in our body without undergoing digestion? Idagdag ko lamang po, digestion starts in the mouth. May question din sa let, where does digestion start? Your answer would be the mouth. What kinds of food are digested in the mouth? Your answer would only be carbohydrates. Wala pong fats, walang proteins na na-digest sa mouth. Carbohydrates lamang po yung dinadigest sa mouth. What is the enzyme found in your saliva that helps in the digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth? Your answer would be salivary amylase. Okay, salivary amylase po yung sagot nyo dyan. May question din sa let na, where does digestion end? Saan natatapos yung digestion? Okay, saan natatapos yung digestion? Your answer would be the small intestine. Okay, small intestine po yung tamang sagot for as to where digestion is completed. Now, if my question din sa let, if digestion ends or is completed in your small intestine, what is the function of your large intestine? Yung large intestine po nyo does not function for absorption and digestion of food. It's only there for absorption of water. So tubig po yung ina-absorb ng large intestine mo. Hindi na po siya for digestion. Okay, so those are I've given you a lot of the questions that you can find commonly in the let with regards to this question that we have here. But in this case, for question number 15, the correct answer is letter B, vitamins. That's the correct answer. Hindi po niya kailangang i-digest. It can easily be absorbed by our body. Okay, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Che Apostol, for your super sticker, super chat, ayuda for Gurong Pinoy on YouTube. Thank you so much po. Okay, we go to number 16. Oh, category math. May pahabol pa yung math. 2 buses leave the same station at 9 p.m. One bus travels north at the rate of 30 kph or kilometers per hour, and another travels east at 40 kph. How many kilometers apart are the buses at 10 p.m.? Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 16? Category is math. Good evening, Miss CCJ, watching from my town, Tigbawan, Iloilo. Thank you for watching us. Good evening, Ma'am Chike, Rolye Mislang. Okay, so very good, Ma'am Chike. Okay, that's very good mentality. So si Ma'am Chike, sabi niya, student pa lang po ako, malaking tulong po ito para in the future sa pag-take ko po ng LEP. Okay, good job, Ma'am Chike. You are preparing well for your LEP. Okay, yan na yung math. Ma'am Rafaela, on YouTube, our muse. Napaka-quiet mo yata, Ma'am Rafaela. Siguro nami-miss na ni Ma'am Rafaela, Sir Felix. Nasaan na ba si Sir Felix? Yung dalawa nating Miguel, hindi na din nakabalik. Daming nag-change ng sagot. Now, I love my fats, sabi ni Ma'am Modsnalin Haron. Taba na lang, nag-i-stay sa akin. Sabi ni Ma'am Christine, sana all my fats. Ma'am Grace, I love you fats. Sir Gigi. Magpataba na lahat, sabi ni Ma'am Izay. Okay, yan na yung math. A lot of you are answering the letter A. Basta 2 buses, 50? Ganun ba, Sir Loreto? Di ako nag-solve. Ligwak na ata. Okay, may A, may B, may C, may D. Kompleto na yung ating sagot. Alright, dito naman sa Facebook, again, would like to say good evening to those people who are also watching us on Facebook. Sir Jojo Cabras, Sir Travis Poto, Ma'am Limon, Ma'am GV Bautista, Ma'am Grace Factura, they're also answering. Thank you so much for joining us. Ma'am GV says, nice video. I'm learning po. I'm not education student, but I'm planning to take, yes, educational units. Thank you po. Stay with us. Ma'am Lashi Vatil. Okay, now we go back to our question here. Again, this is in the category of math. 2 buses leave the same station At 9 p.m., one bus travels north at the rate of 30 kph and another travels east at 40 kph. How many kilometers apart are the buses at 10 p.m.? Now, sinabi ni Sir Loreto, our president on YouTube, basta 2 buses, 50 na kaagad yung sagot. No? Okay? That still depends on your given. Okay? So, depende pa rin naman sa given mo to. Now, going back to your question, sabi niya, one bus travels north. So, papunta sa norte, yung isang bus, that's upwards. The other one travels east. Okay? So, dyan papunta yung east, that's towards the right. If you still don't know your direction, ito po yung ating direction. Okay? So, north, east, south, and west. Tandaan niyo po lamang, yung north would always be upwards and south would always be downwards. And then, of course, yung lateral mo dito, they would form the word we. So, west and east. Okay? So, those are your directions. So, again, sabi niya, north, the other one is east. Okay, now, so again, we are actually looking for this length here, this one, this distance. So as you can see, we have actually formed a right triangle, with one side being 30, okay, so that's 30 kilometers, and the other side would be 40 kilometers, okay, because 1 hour lang naman yung tinravel nila from 9 to 10. Okay, so that means we're looking for this. We're looking for the hypotenuse of your right triangle, and that means we are going to use your Pythagorean theorem, which is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Tama po, Ma'am Christine Acabo. Pythagorean po ito yung ating gagamitin. Okay, so that means that c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C, of course, here would be your hypotenuse. Your hypotenuse, the longest side, A and B, are the two other sides of your rectangle. Okay, so we are given the values for A and B. Okay, so that means c squared equals 30 squared plus 40 squared. C equals 30 times 30 is 900. 40 times 40 is 1,600. C squared equals 900 plus 1,600 gives us 25. Okay, so sa makatuwid, C equals the square root of 25, and the correct answer is letter A, 50 kilometers. Okay, so 50 kilometers po is the correct answer. That is letter A. Okay, ligwak na. Okay, letter A is the correct answer. So again, 50 kilometers is the correct answer. Tama si Sir Loreto, but you don't say na 50. Basta pag nakita nyo yung 2 buses, 50 na kaagad. Depende din po kasi pag nag-iba to, nag-iba din to, iba din yung sagot nyo. Okay, so maiba din po yung sagot nyo. Alright, so again, for number 16, for math, number 16, that's letter A, 50 kilometers. Now we go to number 17, category social studies. Which human right violation is a deliberate and systematic extermination of an ethnic or national group? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Good evening, Sir Bold Storiaga, Sir Joshua Luching. Ligwak na. Basta letter A, oh, sabi ni Sir Loreto kanina. Okay, so si Ma'am Maria Beatriz Solina pala, undergrad pa rin siya. Magti-take lang, nagre-ready lang siya for LET. Thank you po. Good job and congratulations on your preparation for the LET. As early as now, nagpe-prepare na sila for their LET. Okay, now a lot of you are answering with the letter A on YouTube. Okay, on Facebook, people are also answering with the letter A. My B, my D. Okay, now number 17, which human right violation is a deliberate and systematic extermination of an ethnic or national group? Let's take a look at your options here. Correct answer, of course, is letter A, that's genocide. This is the killing of an ethnic or national group. The worst genocide that happened was during the time of Hitler. Tama yung sinabi niyo, the Holocaust during the time of Hitler, no? So pinatay niya yung mga naging ang tawag dito, mga biktima niya ay mga Jews, no? Tama ito si Sir Bold Storiaga on Facebook. Okay, so that's during the time of Hitler, the Holocaust of the Jews. Okay, now letter B mo, politicide kasi, this is the killing of people with the same political beliefs. Okay, so killing of people with the same political beliefs, that's politicide. Now letter B, letter C mo naman, homicide, this is the killing of another person. Now homicide is different from murder dahil yung murder mo kasi sadya mo. Okay? So sadya, deliberate, pinagplanuhan mo talagang patayin siya. O if may plano ka talagang patayin yung isang tao, that's murder. Pero homicide kasi, killing of another person, pwede siyang non-deliberate, pwede siyang only due to negligence, so kunwari aksidente, kunwari nagdodrive ka, meron kang napatay, nasagasaan mo, that's homicide, hindi po siya murder. Yung murder po, kunwari yung ex-boyfriend mo, okay, gigil na gigil ka, wag naman sana, no? Ginagamit ko lang po to as an example to just give you the difference between homicide and murder. Of course, pag murder, there is a plan. Gusto mo talagang patayin yung tao, okay? But homicide, it is non-deliberate, no? Hindi siya pinagplanuhan na klase ng pagpatay ng tao. And of course, the last one would be your letter D here, parricide. This is a killing of a family member. So pag merong namatay, pinatay ng kamag-anak, that would be parricide. Okay, so parricide po yung killing of a family member. The correct answer is letter A, genocide. Okay, so letter A po, that's the correct answer for number 17. Now we go to the third to the last question that we have for GenEd tonight. In Psalm 23, otherwise known as a Psalm of David, which meaning is closest to the line, he makes me lie down in green pastures, he leads me beside still waters. Is it letter A, he will be given riches and mercy? Letter B, he will be known throughout the land. Letter C, he will be provided peace and prosperity. Letter D, he will always obey his father for his glory. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 18, GenEd? Third to the last question for tonight. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for GenEd number 18? Sir Paul Ray Mark Salsag from Bacolod. Good evening po. Thanks for watching us. Okay, Sir Paul is one of our lecturers in Bacolod. Okay, now a lot of you are answering with the letter C on YouTube. Halos lahat letter C, ganun din dito sa ating Facebook. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for the third to the last question, GenEd for tonight? Okay, again, GenEd question number 18. Karamihan sa inyo, letter C, no? In Psalm 23, otherwise known as a Psalm or the Psalm of David, which meaning is closest to the line, he makes me lie down in green pastures, he leads me beside still waters. Now, take note of this, lumabas po ito sa LET, yung question po, meron pong question sa LET 2018, if I'm not mistaken, what is the most popular Psalm in the Bible? Okay, ano ba yung pinaka-popular na Psalm in the Bible? The correct answer is Psalm of David or Psalm 23. Okay, so take note of that. Lumabas po yan sa LET. Okay, now, the correct answer here, of course, will be letter C. Tama po kayo. He will be provided peace and prosperity. Dahil dito sabi green pastures. Green pastures, of course, this symbolizes prosperity. Okay, so prosperity po yan. Still waters, still, of course, means calm, serene, peaceful. So that's why you also have the word here, which is peace. Okay, so number 18 is letter C. He will be provided peace and prosperity. Now we go to number 19, second to the last, still in the category of science, scientific attitude. Mia is always interested in asking questions. She's also very eager to find the answers to these questions. What scientific attitude is she displaying? I've already mentioned this kanina. Wonder, rationality, curiosity, or absence of prejudice. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Ma'am Whitney Rodelas is also a student preparing for the LET. Congratulations po. Good job. Okay? She's also preparing for the LET. Okay? Napakaagap. That's a very good preparation. Thank you so much. Ma'am Mabel Rivera, welcome po. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for the second to the last question, category science? Okay, this is scientific attitude. Okay, so again, I've already mentioned this a while ago. Mia is always interested, na discuss ko na to kanina no, sa ating previous question. Interested in asking questions, eager to find the answers. The correct answer would be letter C, curiosity. Okay, curiosity is the correct answer. Okay, you'd always want to ask questions. You always want to find answers to these questions. Hindi lamang wonder. Wonder kasi nagtataka ka lang. Okay, pero hindi ka naghahanap ng sagot. Rationality, of course, you are using your reasoning. Absence of prejudice, this is objectivity. You are fair in your observation, in your investigation. So the correct answer is letter C, curiosity. Okay? So napaka-importante pong scientific attitude itong curiosity. If you have young kids, especially toddlers, no, katulad ng anak ko, 3 years old, napaka-curious po nila. Marami po silang palaging tanong. Okay? Dahil tayo minsan ay busy, minsan naiirita tayo, but this is a very tawag dito, very important process po para sa ating mga anak, curiosity. So you need to feed their curiosity. Dapat po sinasagot natin. Hanggat kaya, sagutin po natin. Kung hindi naman kaya po, pwede namang mag-open kayo ng YouTube, magpapanood nyo sa kanila yung video or libro, okay? But try to always answer their questions because this is curiosity and they are trying to develop also their study skills, okay? So wag nyo pong i-neglect yung mga katanungan ng inyong mga anak. All right, number 20. Okay, this is in the category of English vocabulary. She had a hiatus of a year before she went to college. What is the meaning of this? Letter A, continuation. Letter B, length. Letter C, lapse. Letter D, uninterruption. Okay, this is the last question for GenEd tonight. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Oh, yes, Sir Efren. Sir Rain, I just 3 years old. Rain also has, she doesn't have, well, she has her own YouTube channel, but we're not really keeping up with it, no? Hindi namin na-update. Okay, so wala kami masyadong time to keep up with her channel. But if you can also visit her Facebook page. Meron po siyang Facebook page na Rain TV. And she also has some of the videos there. The rest of her videos are also found in Gurung Pinoy. She has a playlist in Gurung Pinoy. Okay, it's called Learning with Rain. Okay, now a lot of you are answering the letter C. Again, the question is, she had a hiatus of a year before she went to college. Okay, the correct answer here is continuation and interruption. This would only mean the same thing. So that means walang interruption. So that means continuous. Pareho lang po yung A and D. So that means hindi ito yung magiging sagot nyo. Is it length or lapse? The correct answer would be letter C, lapse. Meaning meron siyang lapse, tumigil muna siya for a year bago siya nag-continue sa college. Okay? So, for example, tinanong kayo ng ex-boyfriend mo, meron ka ng bagong boyfriend, tapos inakusa ka ng ex-boyfriend mo na pinagsabay mo sila. So, pwede mong sabihin na, hindi totoo. I had a hiatus of 1 week. Okay, 1 week or pwedeng you had a hiatus of 1 month bago mo sagutin yung isa pang tao. Okay, yung bago mong boyfriend. All right, please send me your scores for GenEd. That's 15 out of 20. Merong 15 out of 20. Okay, 13 out of 20, 17, 14, 15. Not bad. Alright, 12, 13, okay lang po yan. Importante po ay you are learning. At sa susunod, pag nakita nyo yung tanong na yan, in the let, alam nyo na po yung tamang sagot. Alright, let's take a breather. We'll go back at 8:40.
Hello everyone, my name is Shara Joy Batir and I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Education with specialization in General Education in West Visayas State University, La Paz, Iloilo City. I took the licensure examination for teachers last 2018 and became a licensed professional teacher with the help of StudyLink and Gurong Pinoy. In Omnibus Amare et Servire. That is the motto of our school, Ateneo de Iloilo Santa Maria Catholic School, which means to love and serve in all things. In everything we do, we should give our best and offer it to the Lord. Preparing the licensure examination for teachers is not easy, but loving and enjoying the process and offering your all to the Lord, everything is possible. My experience with SLRTC and Gurong Pinoy was really fun and unpredictable. I was looking for a best yet affordable review center that time, and luckily I came across with their Facebook page, and I inquired for their review offerings. But because God wants to add flavor to my first encounter with SLRTC and Gurong Pinoy, I was chosen to be the representative of Wibsumain for SLRTC Battle of the Brains on their orientation day, together with other aspiring teachers from different colleges and state universities. And with God's grace, we won. As time goes by, my review journey with SLRTC is getting tough, yet very promising. There were times that we undergone sleepless nights in reviewing to make sure that there is a follow-up when we are already at home. Every single class is worth to attend to. SLRTC and Gurong Pinoy made sure that they are giving the best lecturers and resource materials that we need in reaching our biggest goal, to be a licensed professional teacher. But our review days does not end in just lectures and discussions. SLRTC also made sure that we are having fun while reviewing. There were a lot of activities that gave us an opportunity to grow, learn, and have fun together with our new formed friends in different schools. The strong spirit of collaboration of reviewees have seen in those activities as we help each other in reaching the goal. Sometimes, we were experiencing difficulty in review sessions, but Ma'am Meg and Sir Ram are really willing to help us. They make lessons easier and understandable for us using their different strategies and teaching methods. I can say that SLRTZ does not only open our mind, but it also touches our heart and teaches us to be of hand to others. Because of the help and effort of SLRTZ and Gurong Pinoy in helping us reach our goal, I am proud to say that I am already a fully pledged teacher, teaching at Ateneo de Iloilo Santa Maria Catholic School for 2 years, and Ma'am Meg was also a former Atenean teacher. My experiences with SLRTC and Gurong Pinoy gave me opportunities to grow and succeed to where I am right now. And once an SLRTian, will always be an SLRTian.
All right, we are back. Okay, I'm just gonna read a few comments here. Ma'am Jeanette, thank you so much for watching. Proud, she says proud SLRtician. God bless you, Ma'am Meg. Okay, so this is one of our former students now, a licensed teacher. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Chris Reasonable, for your positive comments and feedback. Ma'am Rona Emboltorio, maraming salamat po for watching. All right, so again, if you are still not members of GROW po is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. This is our exclusive FB group where we send all the exclusive materials, not only those that we are discussing through our live stream, but also, of course, the rest of the materials that we know can help you pass the let. So as you can see, we are already in the business. We've been in this business for a long time already. You can see a lot of our former students are already in the teaching field. Okay, and these people took the let with ease, took the let and passed it very easily through the help, of course, of studying Gurong Pinoy. Okay, so again, if you can, we would highly encourage you to join Gurong Pinoy. You are not going to regret it. It's only very cheap. Today is the 1st of August and the payment is already 500 pesos. The payment details po are there. So you can send it through Palawan, Cebuana, or ML. The name and the address is there. Phone number is there. That's my sister-in-law. So I'm not receiving any of your notifications. So what you can do po, for me to be notified, you send it through a private message through our Facebook page, Gurong Pinoy, and then I'll be adding you to Grow. Okay? Or if you cannot go out, you can also ask another person to pay it for you. But then again, your Facebook account, the one that the account that you'd want to be added to Grow, yan po dapat yung magsisend ng receipt sa amin para alam ko po kung ano yung i-add ko dun sa Grow. Now, another option is for you to send a super sticker during our live streams. Okay? So pag nag-live stream po pwede din po kayong mag-send ng super sticker. So that means your payment is going to be through GCash, PayMaya, or PayPal. All right, Ma'am Rizame Wanona Shiva. Thank you po for watching. She's also one of our alumni. Okay, now a licensed teacher. Okay, now, again, the live stream schedule. Thank you, Ma'am Junive, for answering the question a while ago. May question si Ma'am Limon. Anong oras bukas? That's still at 7 p.m. So again, for the entire month of August, our review sessions, our live streams would still be at Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. So again, every weekend lamang po, 7 p.m. But of course, we are going to have 20 questions for GenEd and another 20 questions for ProfEd. Okay, so 2020 po. The Saturday, Sunday, 7 p.m. for the entire month of August. Okay, now we go to ProfEd. Again, we start with ProfEd, 20 questions still for ProfEd, and we start with number 1. Okay, question number 1. Blend ignoring, signal interference, and proximity control are techniques used in operant conditioning, managing temper tantrums, lifespan interviewing. Letter D, managing surface behaviors. We have had a very similar question to this in our previous live stream, and I've already mentioned the answer to you in our last live stream. Okay, that's question number 1 for ProfEd. Good evening, Ma'am Dolor Becerra. Bago yata si Ma'am Dolor. First timer. Okay, a lot of you on YouTube are answering with the letter D. On Facebook naman, some are answering D, others are answering B. Again, those people who are watching us on Facebook, we invite you to please answer with us and learn with us. All right, so again, going back to our question here, it says planned ignoring. Ini-ignore mo siya. Signal interference. Signal interference, some examples for this would be when you are clearing your throat. So, gumaganyan ka, tinitingnan mo yung estudyante, and proximity control naman ay nilalapitan mo siya. Okay, yung mga estudyanteng medyo chismosa, okay, nilalapitan mo, or those people, those students who are misbehaving. And these are techniques used in letter D. Letter D po ang tamang sagot. That's managing surface behaviors. Minamanage nyo kung anong behavior nakikita nyo sa inyong estudyante. It's not operant conditioning. Hindi po siya temper tantrums. Okay, so that's letter D, managing surface behaviors. All right, now we go to number 2. A foreigner who is studying here in the Philippines was turned off by the Filipinos' way of eating balot and isaw. This is an example of. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 2? Sir Jonathan Mitra Cortez. Good evening po. Ma'am April Joy Manaay. Ma'am Michelle Caballes. Ma'am Manaay, relative ko siya, no? Magkapareho tayo ng last name. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 2? So the question is, merong isang foreigner na nasa Pilipinas who is studying in the Philippines and is turned off by the Filipinos' way of eating balot and isaw. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 2? Is this xenocentrism, ethnocentrism, colonial mentality, or culture shock? Okay, now we know that when you say xenocentrism, pag sinabi mong xenocentrism, you think that other people's culture is better than yours. Okay, when you say xenocentrism, your thinking is that other people's culture is better than yours. So halos magkapareho po sila ng colonial mentality, which gives you a hint that A and C cannot be the correct answer. Magkaparehas po yan sila. Okay, so xenocentrism, colonial mentality, magkapareho lang po. Ethnocentrism naman is the opposite. Pag sinabi mo namang ethnocentrism, you think that your culture is superior than other people's culture. You think that ang ating kultura ay mas mabuti mas maganda kaysa sa kultura ng ibang tao. But of course, the correct answer that we have here is letter D. This is culture shock. Okay, so na-shock siya nung nakita niyang kumakain ng balot at isaw yung mga Pilipino. This is culture shock. That's number 2. Now we go to question number 3. Who among the following claimed that children are natural learners and must be taught in natural settings? Is it letter A, Kohlberg, letter B, Montessori, letter C, Piaget, or letter D, Froebel? Maraming salamat for your ayuda, President Loreto. Thank you po, Sir Loreto, for your super chat. Maraming salamat po sa iyong ayuda. Oo, hinahanap pa ni Sir Eva yung piso. Sir Loreto, kulang daw ng piso. Hi, Ma'am Kezel and Alarba, watching from Iloilo. Ma'am Irene Gamarcha. Hello po. Our former students. Okay, is this Kohlberg, Montessori, Piaget, or Froebel? Okay, so iba-iba yung sagot nyo. May B, may D. Sa Facebook, may B, may D din. Okay, now again, your hint here is natural. Children are natural learners, and so they must be taught in natural settings. We know Kohlberg to be the person who gave us the moral development theory. Okay, so kay Lawrence Kohlberg yung moral development theory, yung pre-conventional, conventional, post-conventional. Montessori, of course, Maria Montessori, she is the one who gave us the Montessori method. Okay, yung Montessori schools nyo, no? Montessori schools, this is prepared school environment. So, piniprepare lang nila yung mga materials, hinahayaan nila yung mga estudyante kung anong kukunin nilang materials at kung anong gustong anong gustong i-learn ng bata on that particular day. Okay? So they prepare the environment for the students. Now, si Piaget naman, of course, you know him to be the one who gave us the cognitive development theory. So cognitive development theory itong kay Piaget, no? So sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. Smart people cook fish. Smart people cook fish. Sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, formal operational. Balikan niyo po yung mga GenEd, ProfEd, and live stream playlists natin na meron na po tayong mga discussion doon in-depth ng mga theories nila. Okay, Kohlberg and Piaget. Now we go to Froebel. You know Froebel to be the father of kindergarten. He gave us the idea that kids should be able to play because kids should be given the chance to play. I mean, because kids learn by playing. And so the correct answer is, that's Froebel. Okay, so he said, children are natural learners and they should be taught in natural settings. So dapat nga pinapalaro lang yung bata. Montessori kasi, karamihan sa inyo yung answer yung Montessori. Montessori is for prepared environment. Hindi po siya natural setting. Okay, prepared environment po. Froebel, of course, tama si Ma'am Jasmine Ponciano on Facebook. She says he's the father of kindergarten. Tama po yan. So letter D, Froebel po, is the correct answer. All right, now we go to number 4. The concept that learning to read or write does not happen quickly, but build upon many small steps that occur over the course of the child's early childhood is emergent literacy, innate literacy, academic literacy, functional literacy. Ano kaya yung correct answer for number 4? What do you think is the correct answer for question number 4? Again, if you haven't liked this video yet, make sure that you like it and please share it on your Facebook accounts. Also share it on the groups that you have joined so that we can also help other people pass the let and they can have clarity in the discussion of the let items. Okay, naligwak. Maraming naligwak sa question number 3. Now, going to question number 5, maraming A and B. Number 4 na pala. Question number 4. Sir Jevin, thank you for joining us. Okay, the question for number 4 is, the concept that learning to read or write does not happen quickly, but build upon many small steps that occur over the course of the child's early childhood. So, hindi basta-basta na alam na ng bata kung anong gagawin niya, no? So, it builds upon the many small steps. So, pakunti-kunti, pakunti-kunti, na paunti-unti. The correct answer here is letter A. That's emergent literacy. Nag-emerge siya. Okay, paunti-unti. Hindi siya innate literacy. Wala naman tayong kasing tinatawag na innate literacy talaga. The other choices here, ang academic literacy mo, this is the type of literacy which is required to learn in schools. Kaya meron kang term na academic. Ang functional literacy mo naman, tandaan nyo yan, pag sinabing functional literacy, this is the one that is required at work. So meron tayong question last time na, which of the following shows functional illiteracy? So pag sinabi mong functional, again, this pertains to work. Okay, but for question number 4, the correct answer is letter A. Okay, now we go to number 5. A boy is closer to his mother and the girl is closer to her father. These instances are under the latent stage, Oedipal complex, phallic stage, pregenital complex, pregenital stage. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 5? Wala pang mistake. Si President. Okay, sana all. Sabi ni Ma'am Chantal Lee, most reviewers, iba ang sagot. Okay? So again, sinasabi ko nga, be very careful on what you are reading, especially on the review materials that you have. Minsan kasi iba yung sagot. Hindi nara-rationalize na maayos. Oy, Governor Miguel, maraming salamat sa ayuda. Ang tagal niyo pong hindi nakabalik. Sir Miguel, Sir Jeffrey Arida na din, na surprise din na nandyan. Ma'am, nandyan na si Sir Miguel. Hinahanap ka namin, Sir Miguel eh. Ang tagal niyo pong hindi nakabalik. Nabisi siguro, Sir Miguel. Yung si Sir Migs pa, no? Yung isa pang Miguel natin, hindi pa nakakabalik. Alright, number 5. Again, the question for number 5 is, a boy is closer to his mother, a girl is closer to her father. These instances are under latent stage, Oedipal complex, phallic stage, or pregenital stage. Okay, now going back to our theories, alam naman natin na this is under the phallic stage, and that is the correct answer. No? So letter C po, phallic stage ang ating correct answer. This is according to Freud's psychosexual stages. Now, remember yung psychosexual stages ni Freud: oral, anal, genital, phallic, and latent stage or latency. Okay, so oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. Okay, so this is the last stage po, genital. So again, oral stage, this is from birth to 1 year. The erogenous zone, yung nakakapagbigay ng satisfaction sa bata, would be the mouth. Anal stage naman, from 1 to 3 years, erogenous zone is the bowel and bladder control. Phallic stage, the third stage, erogenous zone mo would be the genital. So ito yung makikita mo yung bata nilalaro yung kanya. Latent stage mo, from 6 years old to puberty, this is the time when the child is very active in his school, and so the libido is inactive. In your genital stage, this is called sexual reawakening from puberty to death. Okay, so the correct answer here is phallic stage. Excuse me. Now, ang Oedipal complex mo kasi, this only pertains to the boy. The boy is closer to his mother. That's Oedipal complex. When the girl is closer to her father, you call that Electra complex, and both of those complexes would fall under the phallic stage. Latent stage, of course, the child is very busy in school, and so wala siya masyadong sexual activities. Pre-genital stage, wala po tayong ganito. Okay? Wala tayong ganito sa ating stages according to Freud. So again, Freud, yung acronym here, your acronym can be ALS, always play late games. ALS, that's oral. Always, anal. Play, phallic. Late, that's latent stage or latency. And then games, that's genital stage. Okay? So these are the stages to the psychosexual stages according to Freud. All right, so again, number 5, that's C. Letter C po. Okay, now we go to number 6. Laughing at a 2-year-old child who uttered a bad word is not a proper thing to do because in this stage of the child's life, the child is Mamehaka Gides. Thank you so much for watching us. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 6? Karamihan sa inyo on YouTube are answering with the letter C. Medyo na busy pala Sir Miguel. Ano nangyari kay Sir Omar? Ba't sabi ni Ma'am Christine, kapit Sir Omar, kapit lang. Nasaan na ba Sir Omar? Hina ng net. Yeah, Ma'am Christine, may napapansin ako. Okay, number 6, karamihan sa sagot nyo ay letter C. Okay, sa Facebook, ganun din, letter C. So, wag na nating patagalin pa. The correct answer, Sir Nap, is letter C. The child is distinguishing right from wrong. So pag meron siyang sinabing bad word at tinawanan mo siya, maaaring sabihin ng bata na, ay, baka maganda yung ginawa ko, no? Na-entertain sila, gusto nila yung ginagawa ko. Okay? So the correct answer is letter C, distinguishing right from wrong. That's the correct answer. Okay? So letter C po is the correct answer. Hindi po letter A. Considering the views of others, hindi po. Bakit hindi yung considering the views of others? Kasi nga remember, egocentric pa yung bata at this point. Okay? So yung view niya lagi yung sa alang niya. Ano ba? Tama ba? Kino-consider niya lagi yung sarili niyang view, hindi yung view ng ibang tao. Okay? Because egocentric pa yung bata dito. So correct answer is letter C. All right, now we go to number 7. The school director emphasizes the necessity of a clean and green environment to contribute to effective teaching and learning. This is an example of providing an atmosphere conducive to learning, establishing rapport between teachers and pupils, providing adequate physical facilities, letter D, utilizing educational technology. Okay. Hindi po pwedeng letter A in our previous question, Ma'am Junive, dahil egocentric pa po yung bata sa panahong 2 years old siya. Kaya po, be very careful when you're reading some other questionnaires. Minsan po kasi hindi nasasagutan na maayos. Okay lang, sabi ni Sir Nap. Binilisan ko pagsagot kasi struggling sa signal. So, kasalanan ng signal kung bakit mali yung sagot ni Sir Nap. Ma'am Christine, sabi ni Sir Jeffrey, paano si Sir Bluer than Blue? Napakahina din daw ng signal ni Ma'am Corazon. Nasaan ba si Sir Blue? Wala yata si Sir Blue ngayon. Okay, now a lot of people on YouTube are answering with letter A. The same thing in Facebook. So that's the correct answer, providing an atmosphere conducive to learning. Okay, so kaya natin kailangan na organize yung classroom, clean yung classroom dahil nga gusto natin na conducive to learning. Anong klaseng ism ito? Yung dapat conducive to learning yung classroom nyo? That would be behaviorism. Okay, so behaviorism po yan. Sabi ng behaviorism kasi, the environment shapes the child. Okay, so depende sa environment mo. Kaya nililinisan, clean and green yung environment, conducive to learning dapat yung classroom dahil sa belief ng behaviorists. Okay, so the correct answer is letter A. Letter A. Si Sir Blue, andyan pala. Nagre-reklamo, Ma'am Christine. Now, number 8, teachers are facilitators of learning. Which among the following negates this principle? Okay, performs not only classroom roles, but community involved as well, familiar with the latest innovations in teaching, uses proactive discipline methods, focuses on the bad backgrounds of students. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 8? Andyan pala si Sir Blue, Ma'am Tin. Sir Omar, nagtatanong, Ma'am Tin. Ayan na si Sir Omar. Nagtatanong anong answer sa number 6. C daw po, sabi ni Ma'am Maylin. Sir Jeffrey din. And Ma'am Izay. Okay, tama yan, Sir Nap. Trust the process. That's correct. May pa-smiley face talaga si Ma'am Christine, Okay, so again, number 8. Teachers are facilitators of learning. Which among the following negates this principle? Hinahanap po natin negate. So that means, alin dito yung hindi nagfa-follow ng principle na dapat yung mga guro ay facilitators of learning. Performs not only classroom roles, but community involved as well. Tama po yan. Familiar with the latest innovations. Tama po yan. Uses proactive discipline methods. Tama po yan. Dapat proactive tayo. We prevent the accidents, the misbehavior in our classroom. We shouldn't be reactive. And the correct answer, of course, is focuses on the bad backgrounds of students. So, tamang sagot po ay letter D. People on Facebook. The correct answer is letter D po. Okay? Because of the word negates. Okay? So, saan yung mali? Tinatawag dito, saan yung mali? Sinasabi. Okay? So, letter D is focuses on the bad backgrounds of students. All right, now we go to question number 9. The nearest to the real thing, according to Edgar Dale's cone of experience, is looking at pictures, attending exhibits, listening to lectures. Letter D, viewing images. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 9? Hina ng net. Thank you, Ma'am Christine, with smile din. Sabi ni Sir Omar. Oh yes, Sir Miguel. Marami na tayong bagong love teams dito. Meron pang hindi nahahanapan ng ka-love team. Si Sir Mike, naghahanap pa rin ng single. At si Sir Javier, naghahanap din ng single. Grabe talaga, Sir Nap. Okay lang po yan. O isabihan niyo din naman si Sir Nap na kapit lang. Ba't si Sir Omar lang sinasabihan niyo ng kapit lang? Si Sir Nap din, no? Hina din daw ng signal. Okay, so again, number 9. The nearest to the real thing, according to Edgar Dale's cone of experience, is looking at pictures, attending exhibits, listening to lectures, viewing images. Na karamihan sa inyo on Facebook, yung answer nyo ay B, may C, listening to lectures. Okay, may B, looking at pictures, viewing images. Okay, now we go to Edgar Dale's cone of experience. Ito yung sinabi ni Edgar Dale. Meron daw tayong active involvement at meron ding passive involvement in learning. So dito yung pinakamababa. Okay, that's according to the cone of learning by Edgar Dale in 1969. So sabi niya, after 2 weeks, we tend to remember only 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see. Okay? Dahil passive po itong lahat, 50% of what we hear and see. So for example, something on location, watching a demo, looking at an exhibit, watching a movie. 50% po lamang yung maaalala natin after 2 weeks. If we are giving a talk, we're participating in a discussion, active learning na to, that's 70% yung nare-remember nyo. So katulad ng ginagawa natin on Facebook and YouTube, hindi lamang kayo nakikinig, kaya sinasabi ko sa inyo, especially those people on Facebook, that you try to answer with us because I want you to participate dahil active po yung involvement nyo. And so it becomes more meaningful yung learning natin. Doing a presentation, simulating, or having simulations, that's 90%. Okay, now going back to the question that we have here, the nearest to the real thing, according to Edgar Dale's cone of experience, looking at pictures mo at viewing images, the same lang po yan. Okay, so pareho sila. That means they cannot be the correct answer. Is it listening or attending exhibits? The correct answer here would be letter B, attending exhibits. Listening kasi that's passive. Pareho din naman silang passive, pero mas mataas lang tong attending exhibits. Kasi of course, in attending exhibits, pwedeng meron ka pang makausap, pwede ka pang magtanong, pwedeng meron mga simulation, pwedeng meron ka pang mahawakan, di ba? Okay, so mas maigi itong letter B. All right, so the correct answer is number 9, letter B. Now we go to number 10. This is a pre-planned collection of sample of work, assessed results, and other outputs produced by the students. It is anecdotal record, diary, portfolio. Letter D, observation report. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 10? Kain tayo, sabi ni Ma'am Jerilyn. Thank you po. Sana all my love team. Isa din daw para kay Sir GJ. Kapit lang. Kapit lang kayong lahat, sabi ni Ma'am Jerilyn Francisco. Oh, si Ma'am Rafaela, hinahanap Sir Felix. Hindi na nakabalik si Sir Felix. Ano kaya nangyari doon? Oh, Sir Loreto, wag kang mahiga. Makakatulog ka mamaya. All right, now going back to our question here, this is a pre-planned collection of sample of work, assessed results, and other outputs produced by the students. Now, so many of you are answering the letter C. Okay, letter C. Also the same thing on Facebook. A lot of people are answering the letter C. And that, of course, is a correct answer. Okay? So, correct answer for number 10, that's letter C, portfolio. Now, tandaan po natin, pag sinabi nating anecdotal record, this is an objective record of something that is not usual to a certain student. Okay? So, na-explain ko na to dati. Pag sinabi mong anecdotal record, kunwari very cheerful yung estudyante mo everyday, tapos isang araw, nakita mo siyang very sad, bugnutin. Okay, so you write an anecdotal record or anecdotal report about a certain incidents. Kailangan nyo ding matandaan dito sa anecdotal reports nyo, dapat objective siya, so walang bias, at dapat gawin nyo din siya as soon as you can. Okay, para hindi nyo makalimutan some aspects of it. Okay, so that's anecdotal record. Alam naman natin kung yung diary, no? Yung diary sa Mara Clara, no? Yung mahilig sa yung mga Pinoy sa mga diary sa teleserye. Portfolio, of course, is the correct answer. Observation is also different. Okay, so observation, alam naman natin kung paano ito yung nung nagpa-practice teach kayo, marahil na-observe na kayo, no? So, ino-obserbahan kayo ng inyong supervisor or ng inyong guro. Okay, the correct answer is portfolio. Another thing that you need to remember about portfolio is that it does not only contain the best work, pero meron ding mga work na hindi best sa portfolio. So the portfolio of a student should show the student's progress. So dapat mula sa medyo hindi magandang work hanggang sa best work na ng student. Okay, so that's letter C. Collection of the sample of work of a student. All right, now we go to number 11. Wait, darling. Please wait. Hang on. Oh, andyan na yung makulit. Jay was asked to report to the guidance office. He and his classmates remarked, "What's wrong? What does this mean?" Okay, please read the choices. Let me just get my daughter. Nangangatok. Wait, darling. Blab, blab. You have to wait because I'm talking to the students. Shh, shh. Be quiet, please. Don't talk. Okay. Just lie down there. Watch mommy. Don't make a lot of noise. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 11? Jay was asked to report to the guidance office. Pagkarinig ni Sir Jay, he and his classmates remarked, "What's wrong?" Bakit? Okay, bakit kaya? Bakit? Why do they ask what's wrong? Is it letter A, reporting to the guidance office is often associated with misbehavior? Guidance counselors are perceived to be almighty and omniscient. Letter C, the parents of J must be of the delinquent type. Or letter D, J is a problem student. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Grace, no? Medyo naulit na yung question na to. Now, a lot of you are answering with the letter A, and that, of course, is the correct answer. Reporting to the guidance office is often associated with misbehavior, lalong-lalo na sa atin. Sa Pilipinas, ipapatawag ka ng guidance counselor pag meron kang ginawang kasalanan. Okay? So, it's often related or is often associated with misbehavior. So, that would be the correct answer, letter A. Now, we go to number 12. The discriminating index of item number 15 is 0.44. This means that, letter A, more students from the upper group got the item correctly. Letter B, more students from the lower group got the item correctly. Letter C, equal number of students got the item correctly. Or letter D, the test item is very easy. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 12? What do you think is the correct answer for question number 12? Yung diary kanina, nasa ibabaw lang ng ref, no? Hindi pa makita. Parang gusto nyo mag-milk. Kakagutom ang ProfEd, sabi ni Ma'am Faith. Pwede naman kayong kumain. Habang nanonood, nakikinig, sumasagot, kumain. Ako nga kumakain din. Okay, now for number 12, many of you are answering with the letter B. Others letter A. Facebook, ganun din, no? Now, again, for number 12, we're looking for the discriminating index. Okay, we're looking at discriminating index. Remember, we have two indices. Ito ay nasa item analysis mo. For you to know whether an item is a good item, kung kailangan i-keep mo siya, ilagay mo siya sa test bank mo, pwede mo siyang gamitin sa mga susunod na taon. For example, you have your table of index of discrimination and index of difficulty. Okay, so discriminating index and difficulty index. So yung difficulty index mo, that would measure how difficult a question is. So that means ang letter D mo dito, hindi na siya po pwedeng maging tamang sagot because this one says the test item is very easy. Ito po ay dapat difficulty index, hindi discrimination, no? Hindi table of discrimination or index of discrimination. Now, ang discriminating index mo naman, yung goal niya is to discriminate. Okay, makita yung pagkakaiba between your upper group and your lower group. Pag sinabi mong upper group, ito yung mga matatalino mong estudyante. Yung lower group naman, ito yung mga medyo bobits na estudyante, no? So, is it letter A? More students from the upper group got the item correctly. More students from the lower group got the item correctly. Or equal number of students got the item correctly. The correct answer, of course, would be letter A tayo. Okay? 0.4 and above, it is a very good item. Okay? It's a very good item. Nandito po yung ating range. Okay? If, darling, nanay, darling, I'm having a class. Needed to be revised. Okay? So, dapat baguhin mo siya or kung hindi man ay basura mo na siya. Huwag mo na siyang gamitin. 0.20 to 0.29, it's a marginal item, meaning 50-50, nasa gitna siya. It needs some revision para mas maging maganda yung item mo. Now, 0.30 to 0.39, it's a reasonably good item, pero po pwede mo pa siyang ma-improve. 0.40 and above, it's a very good item because of course, it can really discriminate. Napapakita niya yung difference between your upper group and your lower group. Okay? So now, tingnan niyo po yan. Ilagay niyo din po ito sa notes niyo. Ito yung mga taong nagbigay sa atin ng levels of discrimination. Okay? Now, of course, the correct answer there would be letter A. More students from the upper group got the item correctly. Okay, so another term for this is positively discriminating. It can discriminate the group positively. Pag negative discrimination kasi, ibig sabihin more from the lower group got the item correctly. So the correct answer is letter A po, letter A. Now we go to number 13. Number 13 tayo. What is the main advantage of using a table of specifications when constructing a periodic test? Letter A, it reduces the scoring time. Letter B, it makes test construction easier. Letter C, it improves the sampling of content areas. Or letter D, it increases the reliability of the test result. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Mahina yung net. Daming gumagamit ng Netflix. Ma'am Ken-chan, okay lang po yan, ma'am. Habol lang po tayo. Okay, karamihan sa inyo ay letter D ang sagot. Some letter C. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 13? Good evening, Ma'am Lillian Barber. My sister-in-law is also a teacher. Watching from Iloilo, Ma'am Daisy Puertas. Good evening po. She used to be my co-teacher in Ateneo. She's currently working in Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. She's teaching in Thailand. Okay, now karamihan sa mga tao na nasa Facebook, your sagot, ang sagot nila is letter D. Nasa YouTube, letter D din, karamihan sa inyo. Karamihan kaya ay tama o karamihan kaya ay mali? All right, now the question is, what is the main advantage of using a table of specifications when constructing a periodic test? Ano nga ba yung pinaka-goal ng inyong table of specifications? Bakit tayo gumagawa ng table of specifications? Remember, when you are making your table of specifications, tinitingnan nyo yung inyong objectives, yung mga objectives ng lessons nyo na naituro nyo na sa inyong mga estudyante, at gumagawa kayo ng items based on these objectives. Now, ang pinaka-rule natin, pinaka-guideline natin is that if you have spent more time teaching a certain lesson or teaching a certain objective, dapat mas marami din ang item na yan sa inyong test. Okay? So that means, pag gumagawa ka ng iyong table of specifications, it is an assurance, you are being assured or you are assured that your test items, ang iyong magiging periodic test, your test item is going to be valid. Okay, it's going to be valid. It is going to hit what you are intending to hit, what you are intending to measure, what you are intending to evaluate. So that means pag meron kang table of specifications or TOS, your content validity is very high. Okay, content validity po yung tinatawag nating nagiging assurance natin na maganda yung magiging content mo, magiging valid talaga yung content ng iyong test. And that gives us the answer, which is letter C, content validity po. So that means it improves the sampling of the content areas. Lahat ng items mo ay swak doon sa mga objectives mo. Okay? So letter C po ang tamang sagot. Letter C, hindi po nagre-reduce ng scoring time, hindi po nagiging easy yung test construction mo. Kalimitan nga mahirap yung test construction, kaya kalimitan mas maraming mga teachers yung gumagawa muna sila ng test, tapos gagawa sila ng TOS, which is baliktad. Dapat nauuna yung TOS, pagkatapos ay magkakaroon ka ng test based on your TOS. Hindi kasi reliability, dahil yung mini-measure natin is validity, not reliability, okay? So the correct answer here is letter C po. Letter C, it improves the sampling of content areas because it makes your test items content valid. Valid po yung content mo, okay? So that's letter C for number 13. Now we go to number 14. Which of the following statements is the main reason why negative words should be avoided in constructing multiple choice tests? Is it letter A, the stem tends to be longer? Letter B, they might be overlooked? Letter C, it is more difficult to construct options? Or letter D, it increases the difficulty of the item? Good morning kay Ma'am Maria Cynthia Nadal, one of our friends here in the US. Okay, our good friend in the US. Hello po, Tita Cynthia. Thank you for watching. She's also a teacher. Pangalawang legwak. Tama si Sir Game Aspiring. Hi, mali. Sabi ni Ma'am Mary Ann Medina. Mali ulit. Pangatlo na kay Ma'am Christine. Sabi na nga, hint, content areas. Okay, that was your hint, Ma'am Izay. Tama. Sir Felix Ozano, nandito lang po ako watching, taking notes. Oh, eto na pala, Sir Felix Ozano. Ikaw ba si Sir Felix Xavier? Ikaw ba yan, sir? Ba't iba na yung name mo? Sir Felix Xavier. Sabi niya, nandito lang po ako watching, taking down notes. Seryoso. Naging seryoso na Sir Felix. Sir Felix, ano apelido? Sir Felix Osano, ikaw ba si Sir Felix Xavier? Iba. So hindi pala ito Sir Felix Xavier. Kala ko naman, sir, ikaw Sir Felix Xavier na hinahanap nila. Okay, so again, we're already at number 14. A lot of the people on Facebook are answering with the letter B, others letter D. Welcome po. Welcome po to our live stream. Let's try to welcome some people who's answering on Facebook. Sir Rodel Soriano, Sir Jason Kabila, Sir Joshua, no? Nabanggit ko na kanina. Ma'am, or Sir ba to? Sir Kaiser Lebron Magdato. Sir Ernesto Ferrer. Ma'am Claudine. is watching us. Thank you for watching us, Ma'am Claudine. She's one of our former students, now LPT. Bakit daw kasi sabi ni Sir Loreto yung wala yung hinahanap? Okay, so again, going back to our question here, let's check the answers that we have on YouTube. Marami sa inyo B, meron ding D. Okay, which of the following statements is a reason why negative words should be avoided in multiple choice test? Bakit kailangan i-avoid yung mga negative words like not, negates, okay? Yung mga words na yan. The stem tends to be longer. Yung stem po na tinatawag natin sa multiple choice nyo, yung stem is yung question, okay? So this part po is the question. That's the stem. They might be overlooked. It is more difficult to construct options. It increases the difficulty of the item. The correct answer po is letter B. They might be overlooked. Kalamitan po kasi hindi nakikita, di ba? Pagkatapos nga, pag nagmali nga kayo, sinasabi nyo, ay, may not pala. Ay, hindi ko nakikita yung not. Okay? Bakit hindi letter D yung ating sagot? Yung letter D kasi sabi niya, it increases the difficulty of the item. Wala namang problema kahit mag-increase yung difficulty niya. Mas maganda nga, mas difficult yung item mo, di ba? Okay, so the correct answer is they might be overlooked. Minsan kasi, hindi nakikita ng karamihan na may not pala. Okay, so na-overlook nila yung not. That's the correct answer. Now we go to number 15. Which of the following is an example of norm-referenced interpretation? Is it letter A? Joel set up his laboratory equipment in 2 minutes. Mark solved 5 problems correctly out of 30 items. Leah's test score is higher than 90% of the class. Hannah spelled 25 words correctly out of 30 words. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 15? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 15? Sir Felix Osano pala ay iba kay Sir Felix Xavier. Hindi siya. Sabi ni Ma'am Rafaela, iba pala. Felix din naman, sabi ni Sir Miguel. Sir Loreto, sabi bakit kasi yung wala yung hinahanap? Sana all LPTs. Kapit lang po, Sir Limited Edition Official. Magiging LPT din po kayong lahat. Available si Press. Sir Loreto, nagpaparamdam. Hindi pala siya, sabi ni Sir Felix, hindi po ako yon, nakisali lang. Okay, now going back to the question here, question number 15. Karamihan sa inyo, yung sagot is C. Ganun din dito sa ating Facebook. No? Karamihan din yung sagot yung C. Now remember, we have 2 types of interpretation. Meron tayo, or 2 types of testing. Meron tayong norm-referenced at meron tayong criterion-referenced. Okay? Criterion-referenced tests and norm-referenced tests. Pag sinabi mong criterion-reference, meron kang criteria. Okay, so may measurement. Meron kang goal na hinihit. Okay, that's your criterion reference. May grade kang hinihit. Now remember, I have mentioned this to you before, the terms criteria or criterion, mastery, and drill, palagi po yung magkakasama. So again, criteria, mastery, drill, palaging magkakasama. Take note of those. Okay, lagay niyo po dyan. Criteria, drill, mastery, palaging magkakasama. Pag sinabi mo namang norm reference, hindi yung criteria, hindi yung yung score, no? Hindi yung grade yung hinihit mo, pero you are trying to compare the test result of one person with that of the rest. Okay? So kino-compare mo yung test result ng isang tao sa test result ng klase, for example. Okay? So that means the correct answer here would be letter C. Okay, letter C. Leia's test score is higher than 90% of the class. So, kinumpare mo yung score ni Leia sa score ng mga kaklase niya. This one kasi, walang comparison. Standard lang or criteria lamang tinitingnan mo. Dito, ganun din. Dito, ganun din. Now, minsan, the let would give you this sentence. Okay, Leia's test score is higher than 90% of the class. Or sometimes the question is Leia's test score is in the 90th percentile of her class. What does this mean? Okay, pag sinabi pong Leia's test score is at the 90th percentile of the class, ang ibig sabihin po niyan, Leia scored higher than 90% of her class. Okay, Leia scored higher than 90% of the class. All right, but of course, for number 15, the correct answer is letter C. Tama po yan. Okay, number 16. Which of the following assessment techniques best assesses the objective plans and designs an experiment to be performed? Is this letter A, Likert scale, letter B, paper and pencil test, letter C, checklist, letter D, essay? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 16 natin? Okay, yes. Claim nyo na yan. LPT by the year 2021. All right, now a lot of you are answering the letter C, others letter A. Sa Facebook, others B. Karamihan sa inyo B for sa Facebook, no, karamihan letter B yung sagot. C, may nanghula, Ma'am Genevieve. Okay, the question is, which of the following assessment techniques best assesses the objective plans and designs an experiment to be performed? Plans and designs an experiment to be performed. Now, ang paper and pencil test po ninyo, this is a general term. Lahat po yan ay paper and pencil test. Pag sinabi pong paper and pencil test, ibig sabihin lang po niyan ay written. Okay, written test siya. So, hindi po pwedeng paper and pencil test yung tamang sagot nyo dahil this is just a general term and lahat po yan ay under paper and pencil testing. Okay, hindi po siya online testing, hindi po siya authentic assessment. Okay, so that means letter B cannot be the correct answer. Ang Likert scale mo naman, it looks like this. So ito yung example ng Likert scale mo, meron kang words dyan or meron kang sentences, and then you have the choices whether you strongly disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. Tapos ititik mo lang. Okay, so you just check one of the circles there, for example. Okay, so that's your Likert scale. Ang checklist mo naman, you have the list of behaviors, tapos i-check mo kung ginawa niya. Okay, so that's your checklist. Essay, you all know what an essay is. So there's a question, then you need to make a paragraph, okay, or several paragraphs, and i-answer mo yung tanong using the paragraphs. So that means the correct answer here is letter C, checklist po. Okay, letter C, checklist is the correct answer. Okay, so checklist po ang ating tamang sagot for number 16. All right, now we go to number 17. What type of measure of variation is easily affected by extreme scores? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot dito? Ma'am GV Bautista, in God's will, RN LPT by 2021. Okay, so nurse din pala si ma'am. Maraming nurses na nagiging teachers na din, no? All right. What do you think is the answer for number 17? Karamihan sa inyo ay C ang sagot. May C, may A. Oh, what about Facebook? May C. Okay, now going back to the question here, what type of measure of variation is easily affected by extreme scores? Now remember, we have the different measurements in assessment. Meron tayong measures of central tendency. Pag measures of central tendency, meron kang mean, median, mode. Meron na po tayong video on that. So again, if this is your first time to watch us, we have the rest of our videos on YouTube. Just look for Gurong Pinoy. We have our playlist for GenEd. We also have our playlist for ProfEd. And of course, more importantly, we have our playlist for GenEd and ProfEd live stream. So lahat po ng mga previous live stream ay nandun na po. Now, all of these are measures of variation. Kung gaano ka iba-iba yung scores ng iyong estudyante. Range, of course, would just be highest score minus lowest score. Percentile mo naman, you are dividing the scores by 10. Okay, so yung decile mo at percentile mo pala 100. Okay, so decile is by 10. Quartile mo, you divide the scores by 4. Standard deviation, I've shown you the formula for this in our previous live stream. Okay, so meron tayong formula nito sa standard deviation. And the correct answer here, of course, is number 17. Your correct answer is range. Okay, so range po to, easily affected by extreme scores. Remember, your range is just highest score minus your lowest score. So highest minus lowest lang po siya. So that means kung extreme yung score mo, mas grabe yung effect niya sa range mo. Kunwari, yung highest mo in one case, for example, your highest mo is 8, the lowest is 6, your range should only be 2. Pero what if extreme yung score mo, your highest is 10, the lowest is 0. So then, it is going to be easily affected. In that case, range will be very much affected. That's going to be 10. Remember, range is just highest minus lowest score. Okay, so the correct answer is range po, range. Now we go to number 18. Number 18. Third to the last question. Standard deviation is to measure of variation as blank is to measure of central tendency. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Standard deviation is to measure variation as blank is to measure of central tendency. Is it quartile, range, mean deviation, or letter D mode? What do you think is the correct answer for question number 18? Ma'am Michelle Caballe, she's asking for social studies review. We have held po hinold po muna natin yung inyong review for majorship. Okay? We will continue with it pag medyo malapit-lapit na yung inyong let. Alright, now karamihan sa inyo are answering on YouTube. Your answers are letter D. Okay, some other people are answering letter C. Okay, the correct answer for this, we're looking for a measure of central tendency. I've already mentioned this a while ago. Central tendency mo, you have the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay? Now, standard deviation mo is part, of course, of variation. Kasama itong quartile, range, and mean deviation. This is not the same as your arithmetic mean. And so the correct answer is letter D. Letter D po ang tamang sagot. Letter D, that's the mode. Remember, for your central tendency, you have the mean, the median, and the mode. All right, now we go to number 19, second to the last for tonight's live stream. A type of error committed in grading the performance of the students by a rater who avoids both extremes of the scale and tends to rate everyone as average is severity error, generosity error, logical error, central tendency error. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Sir Wikil? Sir Wikil ba yan? Weaker? Ay, yung naka-Korean po na character. Wikal? Wikal. Eagle? Eagle po ba yan? Sir Mark Donen Buntag Cascon. Good evening po. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 19, second to the last? Good evening po, Ma'am Buenafe. Na-late si Ma'am Buenafe. Okay, a lot of you are answering the letter D for number 19. Ganun din sa ating Facebook. Karamihan din, letter D ang inyong sagot. Okay, now going back to this question here. A type of error committed in grading the performance of the students by a rater who avoids both extremes of the scale. So if you have a scale and this is the lowest, this is the highest, your rater is always avoiding, okay? Your rater avoids both extremes. Nag-avoid siya ng extremes. So that means hindi siya nagbibigay ng masyadong mababa, hindi din siya nagbibigay ng masyadong mataas. Now, let's take a look at some of the questions or some of the choices that you have here. If you have a teacher, marami tayong guro na katulad nito, no? Hindi ka po pwedeng makakuha ng perfect score sa kanya. Hindi ka po pwedeng makauno sa kanya. Okay, so palaging mababa yung scores ninyo, palaging mababa yung grades ninyo sa kanya, karamihan sa inyo talagang mababa yung grade. Okay, that's what you call severity error. Severity error, mababa ka mag-grade. Meron din naman kabaliktaran, generosity error. Ito naman yung guro na gustong-gusto nyo dahil kahit na wala kayong pinapasa sa kanya, uno ang score nyo. Okay? Palaging uno yung score nyo, 1.25. Okay? Mataas siyang mag-grade. Mataas siyang magbigay ng grado. Okay? So, yan si ma'am na may generosity error. Wala po tayong tinatawag na logical error sa ating rating. And the next one po is central tendency error. Central tendency naman, you know what central tendency is, no? Nasa center lang. Nasa average lang lagi kayo. So walang mababa yung score, walang mataas yung score. And that is the correct answer. Okay? So central tendency error po ang tamang sagot. Alright? So letter D, ang tamang sagot. Okay? That's correct. Okay, now we go to the last question for tonight. Which statement is true in constructing a matching type test? Number 1, the options and descriptions should not necessarily be homogeneous. Number 2, descriptions in column A and options in column B. Number 3, there should be more options than descriptions. Number 4 mo, the directions must state the basis of matching. Saan kaya dito yung tama? Okay, sa pagbibigay natin, paggawa natin ng matching type test. Okay. Sabi ni Ma'am Roslyn, my teacher akong ganyan, mababa magbigay ng grades. Yes. Maraming may severity error. Meron din namang may generosity error. No? Palaging mataas. Sir Loreto, last na po ito. Kapit lang po kayo, Sir Loreto. Yan kasi walang inspiration si Sir Loreto kaya inaantok na daw siya. Last na po ito, sir. Super late na. Oh, si Ma'am Buenafe. Wow, Sir Omar, maganda daw yung DP mo. Sunset, sabi ni Ma'am Christine. Sir Jeffrey, generosity. Uy, Sir Omar, pero mas maganda ka daw, Ma'am Christine, sabi ni Sir Omar. Sir Loreto, inaantok. Inaantok na. Last na po ito. Pagod na brain cells ni Ma'am Grace Flores. Okay, so again, going back, this is the last question that we have for tonight. Which statement is true in constructing a matching type test? Now, when you say description, ito po yung mga questions mo, no? Mga descriptions mo, of course. And ang options, ito yung mga choices mo, nasa column B. So, tama yan, no? The descriptions should be in your column A. Nandyan yung mga descriptions mo. At sa column B mo, dyan dapat yung mga choices mo. So, tama yung number 2. Okay, there should be more options, more choices than the descriptions. Tama po yan. So kung 1 to 5 lang to, yung questions mo dito, dapat more than 5 ito. So po pwedeng 6, po pwedeng 7. Directions must state the basis of matching. Tama po yan. Another thing that you should remember when you're using your matching type test, dapat lahat ng choices mo, lahat ng options mo, and your description should be in the same page. So, dapat nasa isang page lang sila para hindi pabalik-balik yung estudyante, no? O sumakit na yung ulo ng estudyante, pabalik-balik ng page. Okay? And so, the wrong choice here would be number 1. Sabi kasi na number 1, not necessarily be homogeneous. Dapat homogeneous sila. Dapat isang topic lang yung pinag-uusapan para hindi magulo yung isip ng estudyante. So pag gumawa ka ng matching type test, dapat homogeneous yung choices mo or your options. So that means the correct answer is letter B, 2, 3, and 4 only. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, number 20 po should be letter B. 2, 3, and 4. And that is the correct answer. Okay, so again, that ends our live stream tonight. So remember, tomorrow we are going to have another live stream. Live stream schedule for this month of August would be Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. We end tonight at 9:45. If you think that is too late, then you just tell me by tomorrow. So until tomorrow, titingnan natin. If it's too late, then you can also suggest that we lessen the number of items. Okay? So pwede natin gawing 15-15 pa rin, katulad ng dati, or pwede nating bawasan, okay? If you think that it's too long. All right, so again, this ends our discussion tonight, our live stream for tonight. The next live stream will be tomorrow. Again, Saturday, Sunday po, 7 p.m. Philippine timing live stream natin for this month of August. If you are still not part of GROW, make sure that you become a member of GROW, the details of which are found at the beginning of this video, also in the middle of GenEd and ProfEd, okay? Now, please like this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Guru Pinoy, like our Facebook page, Guru Pinoy, and come back to our live streams. We are going to be here to help you pass the LET and help you reach your goal of becoming licensed LPTs. Okay? So, sa muli, ito pong inyong Gurong Pinoy na nagsasabing, sabay-sabay po tayo, maliit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat po for being with us tonight. Thank you to all my online students. Good night. And I'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Philippine time. Okay, bye!